What's up? Uh, oh yeah, let me post my uh what's up everybody? How's everybody doing tonight, man? How is everybody doing tonight, man? Oh shit. Um, how's everybody doing tonight? How's everybody doing tonight? Salute. What's up? What's happening? Salute to Jared, man. Salute to you, Jared. Um, I gotta get my notifications out, man. I don't know why I ain't do that. I forgot, man. It literally just crossed my mind. We got a great show for you guys tonight, man. A great show for you guys tonight, man. A great show for you guys tonight. Oh, Scorpion Squad in the building. Shout out to the Scorpion Squad, man. Scorpion units. Scorpion. 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 Yeah, man, I heard about that, man. I heard about that, man. Man, a lot going on out here in these streets, man. uh, man. Uh, All right, I got that done, man. Salute, man. What's up to everybody, man? What's happening, man? What's happening, man? What's happening? He said, let's take a break and get a plate. Y'all terrible, man. Something wrong with y'all, man. Damn, man. Man, messing with a brother, man. You ain't right. You ain't right. Fucking with a brother, man. How cold that ice water's cold, cold, man. That ice water's cold. Like I'm talking about like the whole ice tray. I take the whole tray, put it in the cup. I take the whole damn tray. I like my water cold, Jack. Mm. Yeah, salute, man. Whatever. Yeah, man. This is a big cup. This is like a 32 ounce. No, is this 32 ounces? I don't know how many ounces this is. This is 8. Maybe it's 24 ounces. I don't know. I don't know. I got big hands, so you can't really tell. I don't know. This is like a, I'll say, this is like a 24-ounce cup, I think. Man. Uh, yeah, man. Salute this for everybody that don't get to stay up late, man. Coming at you guys early. Let me go ahead and get started, man. Oh, let me go ahead and get started, man. Um, uh, I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you. Uh, we might have to get to Philly, man. Today, man. Shout out to John Gow, man. Woo. Oh. Mm. Shout out to my man John Gill, man. Illadelph. He sends me this. Hold on. He sends me this. I think his girlfriend is a EMT, man. How you doing? I'm good, hun. I'm good. Had a 5-year-old stabbed in the operating room now. Seen that. They gonna be okay? Yes, but major surgery. Her organs were out of her stomach. WTF. Sad. Very. So yeah, man. They stabbing 5-year-old girls, man, in the Philadelphia, man. Oh, but of course. Salute to my man Charles S coming through once again, man. Shout out to Charles S, man. Yes. Man, it's crazy out there, man, in Philadelphia, man. They stabbing 5-year-olds, man. We're gonna have to get to that. Mm. We'll go to Philly, man. A little later, man. We go to Philly a little later, man. Hopefully we can see some honeys, man, when we go to Philly, man. See some honeys, man. Mm. Wow. Wow. My murdered singer niece and her two friends were not linked to cartels. Furious relatives hit back at theories over three women who were tortured, brutally killed, and dumped in a shallow grave in Ecuador. The discovery was made by fishermen who saw a dog sniffing near the ground. Their bodies had each been tied up, their throats slit, and their mouths covered. So these three chicks, look at that, man. Golly, man. Jeez. Wheeze, man. Woo! Now, them some fine looking ombritas, man. That's ombrita Evan. Ombrita Evan. Gone, man. Throat slit, tortured, everything. Found in a grave, buried. A dog found them. Woo! They don't play over there. That's where they found them, right here. Jeez. Wow. They were young. They had beach clothes, bathing suits, light clothing shorts. The young women had left their homes in Santo Domingo de los Chasis, over 50 miles from where they were found after heading to the beach on April 4th. After not returning or getting in contact, their families reported the three girls missing later that day. Crime scene investigators say the women were tortured due to the injuries sustained and the fact they appeared to have been tied up and gagged. Ecuador. Damn, Ecuador worse than the stand, man. I thought the stand was the only one that be knocking the honeys off like that. Ecuador ain't playing, man. Jeez. Mm. Wow. Damn, beautiful young girls. Had their whole lives ahead of them. One of them was a singer. Wow. Damn, man. Mm, mm, mm. Mm, mm, mm. mm, mm, mm. So sad, man. So sad. Mm. Wow. Target security guard slugs female shopper in the face after she demanded her 1,000 bill be paid by reparations before telling cops this was her Rosa Parks moment. All right, man, we got a lot going on. We got a lot going on, man. Let's go ahead and jump into it, man. Uh,
Audience that can.
oh. All right. Florida Republican Webster Barnaby receives backlash after calling transgenders demons and mutants.
All the folks that are in the audience that consider themselves gender dysphoria, cis. I don't know what all that means. I really don't know what all that means. I'm looking at society today, and it's like I'm watching an X-Men movie with people that, when you watch the X-Men movies or Marvel comics, it's like we have mutants living among us on planet Earth. And, some people don't like that, but that's a fact. We have people that live among us today on planet Earth that are happy to display themselves as if they were mutants from another planet. This is the planet Earth, where God created men, male, and women, female. I'm a proud Christian, conservative Republican. I'm not on the fence. Not on the fence. And this bill is about public safety, to all the folks that are in the audience that consider them.
He said, I'm not on the fence. I'm not on the fence. Mutants, man. People are mutants, man. I mean, he got a point there, man. He ain't said nothing wrong, man. Salute to that guy, man. He old. He don't care if they cancel him. That's why I'm shocked, man. More boomers ain't coming out against this stuff because it doesn't matter. What they gonna do to you? Kid shows up to black people's house with whip.
Little boy, you better get your ass from off my porch beating on my door like this. I will call the police. You need to leave. Don't you ever beat on my goddamn door like that. Go. Okay.
He said, okay.
Little boy, you better get your ass from off my porch beating on my door like this. I will call the police. You need to leave. Don't you ever beat on my goddamn door like that. Go. Okay.
I mean, that turned out well. That turned out well. That could have been a lot worse. That could have been a lot worse, man. That could have been a lot worse, man. You said the kid is autistic. The kid is autistic. Salute to Radio Blimp Mode. blip mode. It ain't a problem my squad can't fix. We can do it in the mix. And if you niggas talk trash, we prepare to bust ass because you know we don't fuck around. And if you niggas talk shit, leave you 6 feet under the ground. Ground, 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 ground. Salute, man. Blip mode. He say, yo, Ox, speaking of demons and mutants, here's some greenbacks down on a case of Bud. Nah, man. I'm good. I ain't drinking Bud Light no more. Fuck them. Fuck them. I used to like Bud too. I ain't gonna lie, cause it's just an easy beer to drink, and it's always there. Whatever party you go to, or whatever shindig you go to, you know, and you know what it's gonna taste like. A lot of these craft beers, you don't know what the fuck it's gonna taste like. Now, Yingling, I would drink Yingling, but I stay away from a lot of those craft beers when I used to drink. So, Bud, Miller High Life, shit like that, Beck's, Heineken, what's the one? God damn. The little one the Jamaicans drink. It's in the brown with the red and the white label. Forgot the name of it. But it's plenty of that and Bud is one of the, it's one of the names. It's like Pepsi or Coke. But fuck them, man. Fuck Bud. Fuck Budweiser. I wouldn't drink another Budweiser. I definitely wouldn't pay for a Budweiser. Fuck them. At some point, man, you gotta be like, man, fuck this shit, man. This shit is evil, man. The history gonna look upon us, man. They gonna say we was crazy, man. Dude. Research. All this research I'm doing, man. God damn. A shit ton of research, man. History gonna look at us crazy, man. They gonna be like, damn, you was with that shit? Like, nah, but you ain't say nothing about it. I'm putting it out there now, man. I ain't with that shit. I'm putting it out there now. I am not with that shit. I ain't fucking none. That shit is no sir. No sir. That shit. Yeah, I'm doing research on women with back problems, man, and the root causes to many women's back problems. And I'm also, I'm dedicated to that research too, man. Um, I won't rest until we find an answer. I get emotional about this sometimes, but I've dedicated my life to this, man. We're going to find the remedy to all this stuff, man. I mean, look, man, look, we're going to find a remedy to this stuff. I don't care What you say, what they say, it's a big deal, man. And somebody, and if you don't care, I'll care for you. Let's go see what else is going on, man. What did it say? Um, let's see. Let's see. Where should we start, man? Let's start in Baltimore, man.
This is a message out to families who have young people. This is again a message out to families who have young people. We need you too. I should not be talking to 10 and 11-year-olds on Pratt Street after a shooting happened in Baltimore City where young people have been shot and they don't know where their parent is. That happened last night. We can't be a city. We won't be a city where we allow that to happen.
Mayor Scott says
Yo, Blackistan is a mess, man. It's funny how they explain a gazillion ways Blackistan is a mess, and then they still like try to act like they better than other people and shit. We better than everybody, man. We got melanin, and it's like, God damn, Blackistan is a mess. Let me let me drop the link, man. Jesus Christ, man. So apparently in Baltimore, it's 11-year-olds outside now, which I mean we knew that. God damn. 11-year-olds outside now on the block while shootings is happening. Now, how does this guy call anybody a racist? What he said, if everything's racist and any criticism of black people is racist, what he just said was goddamn. I mean, I don't even know if that even is on the Richter scale of racism. Or even if Jesus Christ. What's going on, man? How's it going?
What's up, man? You trying to go in on that Floyd six pack?
That Floyd six pack. What you mean?
You about to start putting cans with Floyd's face on it, man.
Oh Lord,
Hey,
I wouldn't be surprised, man.
when you get done, just crush them in the street. Put a knee or stomp your foot on it, man. Do what you got to do.
Right,
Take it out.
exactly, exactly. I would drink a Floyd beer before I drink a Dylan Mulvaney beer. I ain't gonna lie.
But you got to make the Floyd a 40. The Floyd 40.
Oh yeah, Floyd got to make it like a 40 for how old he is, his old grown ass, and you can only buy it with like counterfeit money and shit. Yeah, what's up, Wiggy? What's going on, man?
Yo. Hey, Ike, I don't know if you heard, but this weekend we had, I think, 20 shootings and 3 homicides. So we, in season 4 over here, spring training.
That ain't shit. 20?
That's a good weekend. That's a pretty good weekend for the spring training.
Nah, y'all slipping, man. Y'all
Bro,
pump.
bro, bro, this was the first hot weekend we had, man. Give us some time, man.
Man, step it up. It was Easter weekend. Y'all had way too many targets to hit. Too many.
Yo, wait till Memorial Day. It's all good.
Yeah, y'all slipping. Say J Boomstick says, "Evening, Ock. Hope all is well. Here in Louisville, we had a mass shooting. Turns out the shooter lived in my neighborhood. It was a wild Monday, LMAO. Yeah, man. We covered that last night. That and amongst other mass shootings, man. Uh-oh. Here come goddamn R2D2. What's up, R2D2?
How's the mic check?
Oh,
Oh, Jesus
God.
Christ.
Whoa.
Jesus Christ.
Yo, how'd you know? How did you know?
Because, yeah, how did I know? I don't know. I guess it was just a hunch. Jesus, AP. Your mic is dreadful. She got the worst mic in the history of Op Nation, like literally. The people be wanting to hear AP too, man, but I guess that's just every rose has its thorn. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, let's see.
Yo, we still love her though. No big deal.
Yeah, man, it's all good.
This is, again, a message out to families who have young people. We need you too. I should not be talking to 10 and 11-year-olds on Pratt Street after a shooting happened in Baltimore City where young people have been shot and they don't know where their parent is. That happened last night. We can't be a city. We won't be a city.
Did you peep it? Did you peep it?
What?
Listen,
After a shooting happened in Baltimore City where young people have been shot and they don't know where their parent is. That happened last night.
they don't know where their parent is.
Look, I trust me, man. You don't want to know where they at.
Yeah, he said parent. He said they don't know where their parent is. Isn't it supposed to be? No, I don't know.
Pratt
Let me
Street,
see.
after a shooting happened in Baltimore City where young people have been shot and they don't know where their parent is. That
Oh
happened.
shit.
We can't
What?
be a city. We won't be.
What he really should say they know where the mama's at.
Yeah,
Where the
this-
mammy's at, man.
I mean, damn, like he destroyed Blackistan. Like this was like ether. This is ether to Blackistan. Like if you wanted to see somebody destroy Blackistan in like what 20 seconds,
This is, again, a message out to families who have young people. We need you too. I should not be talking to 10 and 11-year-olds on Pratt Street after a shooting happened in Baltimore City where young people have been shot and they don't know where their parent is. That happened last night. We can't be a city. We won't be a city where we allow that to happen.
Mayor Scott says a curfew is coming for Baltimore teenagers after recent violence at the Inner Harbor.
Now, a week after teens caused chaos downtown, another large group of kids gathered last night. And sadly, two teenagers, a 14-year-old and 16-year-old, were shot. Today, police are saying they're not sure who the shooter is.
And when the clock strikes midnight tonight, lawmakers in Annapolis will be ending this year's legislative session. Tonight, Fox 45 News demanding accountability on their work to address public safety.
There needs to be accountability for youth that are violating the laws.
What does juvenile accountability look like in your mind?
I think we have.
he's stuttering already.
That he wasn't ready for that one.
Said what it looked like. He started stuttering.
It's the governor, man. The fucking governor of fucking Maryland.
There needs to be accountability for youth that are
Old Styles P looking at this. Jesus, man.
There needs to be accountability for youth that are violating the laws.
What does juvenile accountability look like in your mind?
I think we have to be able to address the fact that we have far too many juveniles that are ending up in these situations where they are both posing a real challenge, not just to others, but also to themselves. And I think we're going to have to use every tool that we have in our capacity to be able to do.
Yo, he didn't answer that question, man.
Because he knows there ain't no solution, man.
And he knows he'll get fucked over if he fucking says anything about punishing the fucking Sun teams. That's not gonna go over well with his base.
With the sisters.
Yeah.
Well, it ain't even gonna go over well if he tries to punish the parents too, the sisters.
Yeah, so they're just not gonna punish nobody.
Yeah, he can't win. It's a catch-20. He's gonna lose.
Yeah.
juvenile accountability look like in your mind?
I think we have to be able to address the fact that we have far too many juveniles that are ending up in these situations where they are both posing a real challenge, not just to others, but also to themselves. And I think we're going to have to use every tool that we have in our capacity to be able to deal with that.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us. I'm Mary Bubala.
And I'm Kai Jackson. Fox 45 News has live team coverage tonight. Mackenzie Frost is in Annapolis as lawmakers end this year's legislative session.
Jeff Abel looking into the curfew for young people and whether it will address the violence that we're seeing.
First, Keith Daniels is looking into whether anything can be done to restore peace downtown. Keith?
Well, Kai, we're live at the Inner Harbor downtown. It's part of the city police department's Central Police District, an area that's seen 18 homicides and 68 non-fatal shootings over the last year. And tonight, questions about safety.
18 people have been killed downtown in the last.
That's embarrassing. That's fucking embarrassing.
Nah, that sounds pretty safe.
Downtown?
Man, downtown. That's pretty embarrassing, man. Let's be honest.
Jesus, I can see the hood. I mean, yeah, we can.
Yeah.
The fuck?
Yo, but all I heard the governor say was, I'm gonna keep collecting my check and I'm gonna stay away from y'all. What else can he do?
In this area after the shooting of those two teens. At the Baltimore Inner Harbor, tranquility. An afternoon of peace Monday, one day after chaos. Sunday night, a truly volatile scene at the Inner Harbor with two teens shot on East Pratt Street. This viewer's video shows the moments that unfolded after the gunfire. A massive crowd of youth seen running in all directions.
So we were standing out there and the shooting happened, and then we had to run.
We caught up with the wife and mother who was having dinner at the Cheesecake Factory at the Inner Harbor that night. She says before the gunfire, they saw the crowds gather. It put restaurant managers on alert.
The people, they did their best inside the store to let us know, inside the restaurant to let us know that, it was all, as far as like locked down, like nobody could get out.
But when her family did.
So you're at a restaurant. Hey, that's a famous restaurant, that Cheesesteak Factory. I mean, not famous, but it's like a very popular one.
It's upscale.
Yeah,
it's pretty famous.
Yeah, definitely.
It's famous, period.
You're in there, and they like, all right, everybody, we're locking the door.
Right. Yo, Ak, is this April or August?
Yo, this is April, man. That's just gotta be. And then you look out the windows and you see a bunch of sun teens, and you can't. And all these people are woke. This is Baltimore. All these people are woke, and you can't fucking deny it. Like, you're being locked inside of a restaurant. The managers and everybody, hey, everybody, attention, hitting the glass with the fork. Everybody. We're having a situation outside, and everybody's looking outside, and it's like a sea of black.
Right. So they make them shelter in place and keep your head low.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, definitely keep your head low. You can't deny that. Like, there's no institutions or structures and none of that shit in that moment because you're terrified. And I think those moments are good for liberals, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you have to see that.
Right. It's what they asked for, but they're blind. They can't see.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta go
Factory.
Yeah. I mean, look. Yeah. Sometimes you gotta see what's really going on.
At the Inner Harbor that night, she says before the gunfire, they saw the crowds gather. It put restaurant managers on alert.
The people, they did their best inside the store to let us know, inside the restaurant to let us know that, it was all, as far as like locked down, like nobody could get out.
But when her family did leave, walking to the car, they noticed more crowds, then gunfire.
My husband, at that time, he's trying to yank me, but still pushing my child in our stroller. So that was the startling part for him as my husband, trying to protect all of us. And then we're also looking back, making sure, because we was running.
This latest incident at the Inner Harbor triggering concerns about control. Former Baltimore Mayor Jack Young.
These kids, these young people have parents. Where are the parents?
And former Baltimore City Police Commissioner Daryl D'Souza.
There's violence, there's guns, then it's completely unacceptable.
Two city leaders weigh in how to control the crowds, police the Inner Harbor. Some have called for the National Guard.
And I wouldn't suggest at all or wouldn't recommend the National Guard coming in for this. I just think on the other hand that that there needs to be really a focus type of game plan.
Part of that plan, he says, includes focused attention on the crowds. Police do look for that one person who might have a gun.
You're looking for bulges in waistbands. You're looking for little carry cases that, people are always clutching and always tapping to make sure it's near the body.
But for Young, the focus should also be on the parents. Hold them accountable for the damage done and crimes committed by their children.
These kids need to know what I do is going to affect my parents. My parents could be locked up. My parents could be forced to pay money for the damage that I've done. And you don't get a handle on this crime in Baltimore.
And this is the former mayor, but he didn't do this when he was the mayor. Well, why didn't you do that?
Hands are tied when you're in office. Ark, you know that. Hands is tied.
It's just crazy, man.
Parents could be forced to pay money for the damage that I've done. And you don't get a handle on this crime in Baltimore.
Well, police said they arrested two teens shortly after that shooting. Again, they're trying to determine tonight if, in fact, either one of them was responsible for the shooting. We're live in downtown Baltimore tonight. Keith Daniels, Fox 45 News.
Keith, thank you. Well, this is not the first time chaos and violence has broken out in the Inner Harbor. As we mentioned last week, another large group of kids gathered there on Wednesday night. They blocked traffic. No one was hurt, but businesses did have to shut down. A year ago, 3 teens were shot at the Inner Harbor. A 17-year-old Baltimore boy died in that shooting. And across Pratt Street sits Inner Harbor Pavilions. And right now, most stores are closed, but a West Baltimore developer is working to restore it. Back in December, a filmmaker took us inside Harbor Place, a place which used to be...
Glider coming to fix things up, man. Uh-oh.
Pratt Street sits Inner Harbor Pavilions, and right now most stores are closed, but a West Baltimore developer is working to restore it. Back in December.
He's coming to fix things up, man. No doubt he's going to be able to fix it up. I don't doubt his ability to make it look nice and to build a structure and make the structure look nice and more other gliders to come down there and spend money. But I just don't know if that's going to affect the crime.
A filmmaker took us inside Harbor Place, a place which used to be really the city's crown jewel. Some fear the city's crippling crime rate may continue to overshadow or hinder investment in revitalization.
Public safety is the linchpin, the key to unlocking the potential of Baltimore City, but we're not there yet.
As Baltimore prepares to roll out a curfew this summer, could that keep kids and guns off the streets? Jeff Abel continues our live team coverage with more. Jeff.
Well, curfews are becoming a very popular tool for cities who are struggling with juvenile crime, but researchers are not convinced they have any impact on reducing crime. Just hours after gunshots sent teens flying through the Inner Harbor, the mayor stood at City Hall promising a curfew for anyone under 17.
These simple, senseless acts of violence in our city have to stop.
It's becoming a common refrain for a number of cities who are struggling to combat juvenile crime. Prince George's County issued a curfew in September.
These kids don't just need a hug, they also need to be held accountable.
But there are questions about the impact of curfews. In a study released 6 years ago, researchers in Philadelphia concluded that juvenile curfews are not effective.
We got some gliders up on that.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
The usual suspects, eh?
Oh my God, Jesus Christ! You glad us keep going for this shit? This is insane. Philadelphia. This is Philly. The effects on juvenile curfew affects of criminal behavior.
You gotta understand that to use some teens would be racist.
Held accountable.
But there are questions about the impact of curfews. In a study released 6 years ago, researchers in Philadelphia concluded that juvenile curfews are not effective in reducing crime and victimization. In fact, when Philadelphia began enforcing a 10 p.m. curfew last year, many crimes actually increased when the curfew went into effect compared to a year earlier when there was no curfew. During Philadelphia's curfew last July, robberies with a gun soared 72%. Auto thefts went up 29%. In 2015, researchers concluded that DC's juvenile curfew increased the number of gunfire incidents late at night by 69%.
The belief that it's just going to solve the problem by itself isn't upheld by research.
Dr. David Myers chairs the Criminal Justice Department at the University of New Haven. He says curfews are often not effective at stopping juveniles from committing crime.
Most juvenile crime occurs during the day, typically during the after-school hours, and by the time the curfew is in place or enforced, be it 10 p.m., 11 p.m. or later, there's just not that much juvenile crime going on.
While city leaders are still hammering out details of Baltimore's curfew, Myers says getting tough with curfews can have a lasting impact on teenagers accused of breaking them.
And that adds, concerns with providing things like an arrest record or contact with the police, perhaps when no crime is being committed.
Baltimore's curfew will not take effect until Memorial Day. Violators could face up to $500 fines. We are live tonight. Jeff Abel, Fox 4.
Oh,
Hey, not for nothing, man. I know the youth is supposed to be the future, but look at all the fucking money spent on these pieces of shit. It ain't gonna be shit and contribute to society, man. It's just crazy. I love to see the accounting numbers, like how much money is just wasted on the resources and stuff for this.
Right. But you're not wrong, dude. They are in fact the future.
And that's the scary part, bro. That's like all that money's going into it, and it just seems like a waste because I don't really see anything productive coming from them.
it's nothing, man. I mean, nothing. You get nothing for your dollar when you spend it on.
I don't believe
the money pit. The future
your
is now.
Warping, your mic is warping. Wicked. Your shit is sounding like AP and shit. I don't know what's going on with you. Is his mic warping or is it me?
we're really thinking through.
Was that me? Is Wicked's mic warping?
Tell him to speak again. I can't tell.
Say something, Wicked. Wicked, say something.
Yo.
Sounds clean.
Oh yeah, it sounds good. I don't know, it was warping for a second. I don't know, man.
I don't believe that we're really thinking through the effect of this or the actual implementation of this, and it's just a knee-jerk reaction.
That's what the public defender's office is saying about Mayor Brandon Scott's curfew on kids under the age of 17 after a shooting injured 2 teens at the Inner Harbor over the weekend during a large gathering.
We've learned that curfews are just unconstitutional. They're racially biased, and
Fuck up.
Why are they racially biased? Who's doing this?
We had a curfew during COVID. What the fuck kind of bullshit is this?
Nah, like she would never answer. Like, well, who are the people doing most of the shit going on?
Most of it.
All of it. All right, come on, 98.
Baltimore.
98.
Baltimore, who's doing all of it? Especially who's these kids downtown fucking with people and shooting people. It's who's doing all of it, lady. And then every city who's doing all of it. These women are so fucking weird, man. Like these talking points and these buzzwords. Man, goddamn, man. When people finally get tired of this shit, and this shit flips, man, it's gonna be hell for some people.
It's gonna be really ugly, I'll tell you that.
learn that curfews are just unconstitutional. They're racially biased, and There's strategies that, really drive unnecessary contacts between police and Black and brown children.
District Public Defender for Baltimore City, Marguerite Leno, says several studies have shown that curfews don't reduce violence and can in fact cause it to go up, and could also undermine work to improve relationships between police and the community.
We don't need our children, Black and brown children, to be over policed. What we need is
Black and brown. You can tell when they've been indoctrinated with this bullshit. There's buzzwords, black and brown. Fuck you talking about black?
Hey.
It might be 500 kids down there, like 13 of them on Brito. It's a goddamn black and brown.
Hey, but me personally, I'm fine with just letting them do what they do, but just give me a couple minutes to get as far as I can from them.
Yeah, man, facts. Give me the heads up. And here's the heads up. Don't go down there, period. Don't even fucking go down.
But you know what? That's unfortunately the reality. I don't go downtown. When my girl wants to go down there, I tell her, man, let's go to fucking Oakbrook. Let's go anywhere but Chicago downtown. And it's because of shit like this.
Why would you want to be around these people? These people suck. They suck. The definition of suck, whatever suck is to you, these people are that.
Is adequate schools, housing, healthcare, as I said, including mental health and trauma counseling. We don't need these acts that are going to just encourage police encounters without positive solutions.
And some in the law enforcement community agree. Former Baltimore Police Commissioner Ed Norris wasn't available for an interview, but did tell 11 News in a text message, quote, "It's the dumbest, most trite, civil rights violating policy that hasn't worked since Italy in 1939. The Public Defender's Office would like to see the curfew rescinded and more proactive solutions put in place.
We should have positive programming and opportunities.
There goes the key word, baby. Program.
None of that shit works. Speaking of shit that doesn't work, like more positive programming opportunities.
How unattached from reality can you be?
Right. She forgot to say free.
Yeah, I just can't with these people, man. These people are fucking annoying, man.
Talking about a positive.
Sometimes, so if they're just like ignorant and they just really don't see it, or if it's just like they're delusional.
This is her job. Her job is to talk like this. She's the public defender. She's woke. She's an activist. She's not just a public defender. She's an activist and shit. Like, these people are activists, and they're whatever the fuck their job title is. So if they're a judge, they're an activist judge. If they're a fucking prosecutor, they're an activist prosecutor. These people are fucking sick.
But she has, but she has to know, for a fact, she has to know that if the police do not clamp down on this, they're gonna kill each other.
Yeah, and a lot of innocent people in the So like in DC, we had a mass shooting today, man.
A final goodbye interrupted by gun violence. A mass shooting erupts at a D.C. funeral home.
At least one person is dead and 3 others are injured. Police say the shooting happened just after noon at a funeral home on Benning Road and 40th Street Northeast. A funeral for a homicide victim had just ended.
News 4's Mark Seagraves joins us now from the scene with what we know.
I'm standing just about where the police car was positioned with an officer on duty inside. Less than a half a block away is where the shooting took place, right outside of the Stewart Funeral Home here on Benning Road in Northeast DC in Ward 7. It was just after 12 o'clock. The funeral was ending and people were coming out when a gunman opened fire. 4 people were shot. 1 person died here on the scene. The other 3 were transported to a nearby hospital. Chief Conti acknowledged that it was the family of the person being buried here today who requested police be here for added security.
So the family requested that the police be there for added security. It doesn't make a difference. Gunman still opens fire. I've passed this place hundreds of times. I've stood at that bus stop right there dozens of times, man. Huge park right here. Like if you look at the they had a map over here. Yeah, here we go. Huge park right here. It's not like a park you go into and like play soccer or nothing. Just a big trees, and it's just like this neighborhood right here. It's bad, but it shouldn't be bad. Like this neighborhood should be a very good neighborhood. But as you go up here, it's hectic once you go this way. Go back here, hectic. Back here, hectic. It's all right around here, but it has nothing to do with none of this shit. It's the fact that those Negroes were here for this at this fucking funeral home. And you had those Negroes at this funeral home, and you had other Negroes who didn't like those Negroes, and they came to shoot. So regardless of what type of neighborhood it was in, if those Negroes was coming here and their enemies knew they were going to be here, this place could have been on the fucking moon, and you were going to have a shooting.
Now, from the scene with what we know.
I'm standing just about where the police car was positioned with an officer on duty inside. Less than a half a block away is where the shooting took place, right outside of the Stewart Funeral Home here on Benning Road in Northeast DC in Ward 7. It was just after 12 o'clock. The funeral was ending and people were coming out when a gunman opened fire. 4 people were shot. 1 person died here on the scene. The other 3 were transported to a nearby hospital. Chief Conti acknowledged that it was the family of the person being buried here today who requested police be here for added security.
I don't think that we make excuses for people who do these types of crimes. I mean, they need to be ultimately held accountable for their actions. And, we need to do the work hard in order to get us there. It's unfortunate that someone would be so brazen to do such an act, let alone at a funeral. I mean, how low can you be of a human being to target other people at a funeral?
Now, Chief Conti says he believes this was a targeted shooting here. He says he does not know a motive. He also does not believe that there was an actual exchange of gunfire. Police are asking the public for any help they could offer in solving this murder. In Northeast, Mark Seagraves, News 4.
Man, it seems like it sucks to be a son sometimes, man. It seems like you should have security for everything like that. Like, you need security at a baby shower if you a son person. You need security just to go mow your yard.
It don't matter. It don't matter though. Having security ain't gonna do nothing.
You're right, but at least I feel like I'm safe.
Yeah, I hate
Fake illusion.
I hate some people, man. It's fucking terrible, man. Jordy Jordan. Who are you, Jordy Jordan?
Oh, hey, man, I'm just a fan, dog. How you
Okay.
doing?
Well, what's going on? What do you think about this?
Man, it's fucked up, man. People trying, put people to rest, put on their grave and shit. People fucking up,
This dude a troll, man. He a troll.
Yeah, he about
How you figure?
You can get that vibe, bro, man. There's a vibe about him.
You think so?
Man, you ain't nice. There was like some kind of vibe about him. It's like, yeah, like they be like, can I show you this on the screen and like.
He was about to bomb you or what?
Oh, definitely about to bomb. I'll say, nigga.
One man is dead and 3 others.
Yo, I go quick though, but that last one, I for one blame the cops. Because they should have been ready. Yada yada yada. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, I mean, true.
Still don't matter. Still don't matter.
There's nothing you can do about this, man.
One man is dead and 3 other people are hurt after a shooting outside a funeral in D.C. You heard that correct. The service was for the victim of another deadly shooting.
Yeah, and tonight, D.C. police believe the shooter targeted the victims, but we're still working to learn why.
Investigators say the gunfire started just before 1 o'clock this afternoon outside Stewart Funeral Home. And tonight, we've got 2 crews near the scene on Benning Road to bring you team coverage.
John Henry and Delia Gonzalez are covering the police investigation and community reaction. But John, we want to start with you for the latest down from police. What are they telling you?
Well, guys, we can tell you that this scene cleared about 2 hours ago, right in front of this funeral home where that shooting took place. This attracted a lot of attention here in the neighborhood with a lot of questions. Chief among them, why would anyone ever shoot at a funeral?
Ray Williams was just working to keep this neighborhood looking nice.
Well, I was cleaning up in the parking lot.
That's when gunfire rang out 1 block away.
I heard about 8 shots.
For shooting at 4001 Benning Road Northeast, in front of Stewart Funeral Home.
Yeah, I see people running down this way.
Medic 7, Medic 10, and Medic 21.
I seen the police running through the parking lot.
4 people shot
Chief Robert Conti said it happened right in front of Stewart's Funerals, the intersection of 40th Place and Benning Northeast. A funeral had just let out around 12:17.
People were milling about when the shooting happened.
Conti said an MPD officer happened to be in the area at the request of the family inside.
Very close to where you guys are standing.
As the funeral was for 24-year-old Stephon Carroll.
Homicide victim in the latter part of March.
Still, the officer.
Stephon Carroll. He was killed on East Street Southeast. Oh, that's the trenches, man.
Homicide victim in the latter part of March.
Still, the officer's presence was not enough to keep the peace.
Adult male is deceased. It appears that several of the people who were in the block were specifically targeted. We're unsure why that is. We're unsure why these people were targeted. More or less, why they were targeted at a funeral. We don't understand that. I mean, how low can you be of a human being to target other people at a funeral? People who do these types of crimes, I mean, they need to be ultimately held accountable for their actions.
Now, there was another shooting around the same time this shooting occurred, about 5 minutes away from here in Southeast, but police tell us it does not appear that that incident was related to this one. Lorenzo?
Yeah, I mean, like, of course that thing that didn't have anything. It's just like the other day in Louisville. After the bank after the bank shooting, there was another shooting a little bit of ways from that, and they were like, oh, they were trying to tie it. CNN and MSNBC were like, oh my God, is he still loose? I thought the killer was dead. He must be still loose. And it's like, no, motherfucker, this is just Blackistan.
Right. Yo, the chief said, why would they do this? Why not?
Right.
Sad on so many levels. First, you're at a funeral for a young man who was killed not too long ago, and then someone else is killed at this funeral. John, thank you so much. You know, this senseless act of violence is having a huge impact on the surrounding community.
Ardelia Gonzalez spent the afternoon listening to people who don't just get to hear about these events around town, they live it because it's happening in their neighborhoods. And she joins us now live with the latest. Ardelia, they are just ravaged yet again.
You're right. They say this happens far too often. They feel like they're living in a war zone, love this community deeply, want to stay. But we talked to a homeowner who's really troubled and torn about whether or not it's still safe to stay here, a home that her grandmother owned and she wants to keep in the family. But let me tell you right now, just set the scene. We are here on the back end of the funeral home. You can see police tape is still up. An awful reminder of what happened for a lot of the folks who are just coming home this evening from work. This is the parking lot where neighbors tell us after the gunfire erupted, lots of folks spilled out into this parking lot looking for safety. And the neighbors who live down in this alley in this neighborhood say the gunfire was so loud, it sounded like an explosion. There was fear.
I heard like a cannon, boom, boom, boom.
There was
I'm sorry, man.
Boom, boom, boom.
I'm sorry, man, but yeah, what kind of gun would that be, guys? Anybody know what kind of gun?
More than likely, she's talking about.
No, ain't no shotgun. These young boys ain't using those. They using pistols, but
that's a 45.
Maybe
45, yeah. Right, 4.
357.
It had to be a revolver though, because she ain't say bang, 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 bang. So it had to be.
They not using revolvers either. They using all fucking. You can't put a switch on it. They ain't using it.
Yeah, the Breedles might use a revolver, but the Thunman for sure not.
I don't get the cops saying how dare they shoot up a funeral. They always shoot up funerals.
Well, man, they're not even thinking like a sun person. All right, so if you think it's sun with sun energy, all right, why not a funeral? Everybody there, everybody unsuspecting. Generally, it's like the perfect situation for a sun person.
No, but the reason why they do that is because they know that the majority of your people is gonna be there. That's what I'm saying.
Like, it's the perfect situation. Like no one, it's unexpected. Everybody there mourning. You oughta.
No. They're definitely expecting it.
Yeah,
everybody's expecting it.
They expect it because they've been doing it for years. They've been doing this in California for like
That's why the cops were there.
Got you.
Yeah, that's why she said that they wanted the cops. Because here's what happened: the guy got killed in late March, so his homies retaliated. It's been a retaliating back and forth going on all this time. Then you have the funeral. So it's like the funeral is like 5 or 6 shootings after the murder. and this is probably the 7th shooting in that whole series of events
Right.
between those two crews. So it's
And,
like,
and I with the cops being there, that don't matter. They still have their guns.
yeah, and it doesn't matter because here's the thing: these guys nowadays, and they've always done this right, but they don't give a shit about getting caught because in their mind it's like, I'm gonna get an ankle bracelet, and they're gonna tell them put me on house arrest, and they're not thinking about I'm gonna be in jail throughout the trial, and I'm gonna be coming to the trial in fucking orange jumpsuit. They gonna be coming to the trial with drip on because they coming from their house to the trial, so they know they're not gonna be in prison during the proceedings, so they don't give a shit because they not. Most of these guys that are doing this shit don't think they're gonna live very long, and don't care if they live very long, and have a very, you know what I'm saying, like they've killed people, they're killers and shit, and they got people looking for them. They know that, you know, life is very fragile, so if they can just be on the street during the trial and not be locked up, that's like a win for them. These guys aren't thinking about 40 years and 30 years and down the line. These guys are thinking about fucking tonight.
Right. And it's not like if they get locked up, they're gonna miss work anyway, right?
Exactly.
There is fear.
I heard like a cannon, boom, boom, boom.
There is resolve
We do have to lean in on faith.
and a call for unity.
Our city needs prayer.
The homeowner, the business leader, the community.
Faith, prayer, and you can't even blame these people because anything else they would say wouldn't work either.
Boom, boom.
There is resolve
We do have to lean in on faith.
and a call for unity.
Our city needs prayer.
The homeowner, the business leader, the community activist, a community torn apart by street violence, now in utter shock after a funeral ends in gunfire.
She was saying it was fireworks. It were people running away from the funeral home. They said it was a lot of kids, just a lot of adults just running into a parking lot.
Police say the family of 24-year-old murder victim Stephon Carroll requested police presence for his service at Stewart's funeral home on Benning Road. But somehow, the shooter still got through the 4 officers on the scene, killing 1 and injuring 3 others.
So also you have to think about it like this: if there were no cops there, maybe more people get killed. So you have to give the cops credit for that.
Well, that's a definite. That's a definite. That's a definite.
That's a rough looking character right there, man.
Right. Yo, like, I'm just shocked that the cops didn't kill nobody for no reason, you know? Why not?
I mean, that's what they do. That's what I've been hearing the last couple of years.
At Stewart's funeral home on Benning Road. But somehow, the shooter still got through the 4 officers on the scene, killing 1 and injuring 3 others.
It definitely feels like a war zone living in this community.
We know the struggles that our community have, but we can't give up in these moments. This is the time to lean in.
And don't give up on that S girl either, man.
You look out of place, bro.
My man got the juices loose, man. Salute to Gil B. Gil B coming through with the $5 challenge. Make sure y'all take the $5 challenge, man. Or the $10 challenge, man. Yeah, man. It's just I can't even be mad at these people. Nothing works. There's no solutions. Tomorrow there'll be a shooting around here. This time next year, nothing. It will have gotten worse.
And they'll be saying the same exact shit.
Hey, but you ain't lying when you say like, "Hey, you ain't mad at them for praying." That's what used to work back in the day, and then people lost their faith when shit was down, and now there ain't no faith in the community.
Man, nothing works, man. God, listen, some people are. We listen, man. I'm not sitting here trying to like be hyperbolic, man, or just like, shock value. I fucking hate some people.
Hey, man, I feel you. Shit.
I got the same shit, bro, man. No bullshit, man.
When I say that though, of course I'm not talking about my family and my friends.
Yeah.
Y'all talking the rest of y'all.
I don't even want us near him.
I feel you, bro.
Don't want to rap y'all sons, man. I hate y'all, man.
This is the time to say, okay, we have to have accountability.
We've been hearing a lot about, and a lot of folks from the city, city leaders saying we need more collaboration. This is what we need, but it seems like we haven't gotten there yet.
Well, this is a title-driven city, and if you don't have the right title, your solutions will not be respected.
Community activist Jay Brown says we all need to work together to attack this ongoing violence as he joined hands with the police chief and other city leaders to pray for peace, to pray for solutions. And we end on that powerful picture of the police chief holding hands with other community leaders and activists in this parking lot, praying for peace, because so many people tonight are indeed doing that. I just reached out to another community activist who is working with the family who was inside this funeral mourning the loss of their loved one. She says this violence is out of control. Tonight, she's asking the community to pray for this family. Leslie, Zoe, back to you.
One of the things that, Delia, you keep hearing and we keep hearing is that no one entity can do this alone, right? The community can't do it alone. The activists can't do it alone. The police can't do it alone. That folks are going to have to really come together to decide that this has to stop. Yeah.
All right, Delia.
T.
Thank you.
And you can expect more from WU.
So pretty much
They're always saying this has to stop, but then they keep on electing the same people.
Yep.
Yo, all I heard them say was no solution.
Final goodbye.
There's nothing that can be done about this. This is.
Did you hear about the follow up on that smoke shop shooting?
No.
Yo, check it out.
Well, check that guy's history.
Put it in the back chat.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Put in the back chat.
CBS receipt.
Yeah. Okay. So we got a former DC drug kingpin out. That's what's up.
This DC man right here went to prison in his late 20s on drug charges. Tony Lewis Sr. was supposed to spend the rest of his days in a jail cell, never getting a taste of freedom ever again. But this month, his life took yet another drastic turn.
His best friend from childhood, Tony Lewis.
April 15th, 1989, more than 24 people were rounded up in D.C., accused of running a massive crack cocaine operation in the region, including Tony Lewis Sr., his last day as a free man until now, 34 years later. Come on this way. Tony and his son, Tony Lewis Jr., stopped by our studios to talk to me about this moment, one they've been dreaming of for decades, even with the...
This guy's an activist in D.C. He's been on the street. His father's been locked up since 1989.
Elder Lewis is stiff sentence. So you have this sentence of life without parole. I mean, that's pretty much...
It's a slow death sentence, actually. That's what life without parole in the federal system is. They don't want to use those terms, but it's a slow death.
Lewis Sr. was 26 at the time. His son, only 8.
My mother sat me down, was like, you need to write him. He needs you. All right, he needs you now. And I think the backdrop to that, my father was a very present, doting father.
Their bond unbreakable, despite the barriers. With constant communication, Lewis Sr. was worried about his son's safety, navigating life in D.C. during the seemingly inescapable crack crisis, poverty, and also when his former partner, drug kingpin Rayful Edmond III, became a federal informant. Did you keep tabs at all with Rayful Edmonds? Like after this, have you corresponded?
Well, we were in touch somewhat until he became an informant for the government, and that was it with that.
Still, Lewis Sr. says all he could think about was protecting his son.
I think his greatest fear was me joining him.
Yeah,
right, and he never wavered from that. This was essentially hell, and I would never want you to come here. And these are the steps that you have to take to not come here.
Instead, Lewis Jr. focused on getting his father here, back home, with multiple rallies and a Free Tony Lewis campaign that went on for years. The argument? His father's sentence was unfair and excessive for a non-violent offender.
I broke the law. I understand that, and I should have went to prison, but just not for the rest of my life for non-drop.
No, I can appreciate that at least. I broke the law and I should have went to prison.
No, that's some real shit. That's some real shit.
I can appreciate that.
But you notice that he said that he tried to protect his son from what's going on. Like he caused half the shit that was going on in the city.
Well, I mean, that shit was going on. That shit was gonna go on regardless. But he was making money off of it. He was living the life and making money off of it and breaking the law. I don't know if he was the cause of it, but if he would have gotten murdered in the street, another 50 dudes would have been there to take his place. But here's the thing, though. I do appreciate him saying that because those guys were fucking like you said, they did. They were the ones. You know how they try to say the white people putting the drugs in the neighborhood? Nah, it was niggas like this that was putting drugs in the neighborhood. It wasn't the fucking white people dropping off drugs in your neighborhood. It was this guy, Rayful Edmonds, a bunch of other motherfuckers like him.
Yeah, you see a story about
Alpo, yeah.
You see stories about white people coming to the hood just to pick up from people and getting robbed and shit. Back in
Yeah,
the
white people were coming to the neighborhood to buy stuff. That's
Exactly. Gen X Boomer says, for reparations and some Bud Light to quench your thirst. Fuck Bud Light, but salute to you, but fuck Bud Light.
So see, this dad is proof that scared straight actually works, man.
Well, also too, the fact is that everybody, all Sun men ain't gonna go to jail. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's not gonna go to jail. So it's like we don't know if this is what kept this guy out of jail. We don't know if what he was doing. Maybe he just the light sentences. The DC's very after this era. These guys got fucked over. Once the 2000s came along, it slowly started getting lesser on crime to where they are now. So DC's been getting lighter and lighter on crime over the years since this era. He was the part of the era where they got, Joe Biden's crime bill.
Yeah.
Salute the crime bill too. That shit worked.
That's when I had the 3 strikes and all that crazy shit going on back then.
So, but I'm glad he said I should have gone to prison, just not for life, and I can deal with that.
Non-violent offender.
I broke the law. I understand that, and I should have went to prison, but just not for the rest of my life for a non-violent drug offense. I sincerely apologize to all of the DC residents, and I thank them for forgiving me.
Lewis Sr. was ultimately freed because of a policy established during the Trump era focused on fair sentences.
It was that racist Trump that did it, huh?
Yeah, racist.
Racist
First
Trump.
Step Act. Yeah, racist, goddamn racist. Salute the Deluxe 247, aka the real MVP, aka Cal Ripken, coming through once again. Give it up for Deluxe 247, man. Goddamn, our number one. He's our Bud Light. He's like Bud Light of our nation. He's one of our best sponsors, man. Salute the Deluxe 247.
Lewis Sr. was ultimately freed because of a policy established during the Trump era focused on fair sentences, rehabilitation, and second chances. Lewis Jr. delivered the news to his dad, still hoping this wasn't just a dream. So you told him.
Basically, I sent the email. They got core links. They got email. And I'm like, man, big boy, I'm coming to get you on Monday. He hit me back like, are you projecting or like?
I was just throwing that good energy out there.
Like I normally do. I would tell him, man, I'm going to get you out.
Since then, it's been more than a week of reuniting with his family, grandkids, friends, and his...
Oh, he done divested, man. Shout out Tony Lewis. He done divested. You know you can have conjugal visits and shit. So he was, these guys, they be having families, man. You on the streets and shit and living your life, struggling, dating, listening to Kevin Samuels trying to find a date, listening to the Black Manosphere trying to figure out how you can get some girls. These niggas up in the joint doing fucking 30, 40 years, fucking out of both pants legs and shit. Shit crazy, man.
If you want, I could put in the chat the dating site they use too, man.
Oh, okay, yeah, put it in the chat, man. That'd be interesting, man. Yeah, these guys, man. I know several guys that was because DC everybody goes to the feds, but because they don't have a penitentiary. But I know several guys that was getting conjugal visits, man, and things like that. Um, and all that stuff. Now, hold on. This might be the son's wife.
Yeah, it's his son's. That's his son's kids.
Okay,
Like
this
that's
is
his
the
wife,
son.
and then
That's the
yeah, it's
son's
not
wife.
his. That's not the
But
dad.
no, I do know guys that have had children while locked up for conjugal visits and whatnot. They time the conjugal visits too to the fertile period, like to the ovulation period.
It's in the back chat, man.
Okay, thank you, man. But this woman looks a little older, man, to be Tony Lewis Jr. I've been in the same space as him before at a rally. It was closing down his hospital in Southeast. And he was down there and they like threw a rally to try to keep the hospital open. I was down there and yeah, he's a dynamite guy, man. I mean, but this woman looks a little old to be his wife. I don't know, man.
Since then, it's been more than a week of reuniting with his family, grandkids, friends, and his community.
We 9 days into this, and I'm still like in the morning, he's going with me to take my kids to school. I'm like, is this dude really in the car with me?
Yeah, I be saying the same thing and thinking the same thing. I look back at the girls and I be like, oh man, this is one of my dreams that's coming true.
Okay, so his son's divested. Okay. Salute, man. I mean, 32 years. Hey, man, I can't listen, man. That guy did 32 years. He paid. It ain't like he getting off after fucking. He got 6 months. He got 32 years. Hey, man.
Well, I mean, and it's interesting that the Trump program seems like he's an okay guy, you know.
Yeah, Trump's not that bad, man.
The Trump program lets that kind of guy out, and all these Biden programs letting out just straight up killers, you know.
Yeah, like dudes like this guy's most likely. We can't say for certain, but most likely this guy's not going to hurt anybody, man. He's the one of those tigers that's been declawed or defamed. So he's just home just to try to enjoy his last years of life.
Yeah, did you see Rising? Did you see Rising Crime News's report though? She did a short. A man in Houston was convicted, served 15 years, then got exonerated by the Innocent Project, and his conviction, vacated, declared innocent, and then kills somebody in a road rage incident. Goes right back into prison with $1 million bond.
Put it in the back chat. Yeah, hold it down for me, dog. I have to go do something right back.
Now, don't ask me why I know about this website. Okay.
Why do you know about this website?
It was on it was actually listed on a website.
Nah, don't lie, man. You went to the lady inmates.
Come on, man.
I try
Okay.
something out. I try something out. Shit.
No lie.
Hey, man, I'm about to say this link.
It tells you when they're going to get out. Gives you the dates when they're going to come out.
I got it bookmarked.
Hell yeah, man. I'm about to go in there and see what they got lined up for me.
She on probation. Okay.
But it doesn't tell you what they're in for, though. That's the scary part.
Ah, man, shit. She looked good enough. I might say fuck it.
Yeah, you gotta do a background.
You gotta
check
take
on
a
that
gamble
thing.
on life sometimes.
Hey, you're right. Roll the dice.
Yeah, she fucked around and got out on murder. That dice, man. I don't know.
Hey, but let's be real though. The crazy one's got the best. You know what?
That's real. That's real.
Hey, so did anyone see that other report about the aunt? It's like an aunt or something that shot her nephew at a funeral today as well. I think it was in the Houston area.
Funerals are dangerous spots, man.
Yeah, man. No kidding. I didn't know it was that bad at funerals, but the more I watch art, like I just had no clue beforehand.
Well, I went to a friend's funeral that was in the hood, And when I came out, because they have like 2 or 3, it definitely was not my friend, but they'll run 2 or 3 funerals at a time, right? It was a big place. I'm coming out, and there were cops out there like the president was there. That's how many cops there were outside. Crazy.
Yeah, any big funerals in Boston, the cops show up just in case. Like,
damn,
shit go down. It'd be like that everywhere. Chicago, they had like good shootings where like famous people were at and they got shot and crazy shit happened. Cops are doing everything. That should always go down, man.
Yeah, straight up, I hate to live a life like having to always watch my back like that. Like I don't know how people fucking get sleep. I never get sleep.
Hey, is Wicked still here? No.
He's still on here, but I think he might have like maybe just dipped out.
Oh, nah, because I was gonna say there was not too far from me at all actually, because I'm right by Ford City Mall. There was some dude that got shot for his Hellcat in the head. 32-year-old man.
He died?
Shot in the head for not giving up the Hellcat.
Damn.
He ended up dying?
Yeah, he got shot in the head.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Wait, was it the one where it was like the white Hellcat? Like you can see like another dude came from the side. Like one guy was trying to rob him on the side by the driver's side, and then they came up on him from the corner. He had a partner right waiting on the side watching his back.
Well, this is the brighter side of incarceration over here. So.
And trust me, you can get popped in the head and still survive, man.
Oh yeah, because that the cop yesterday still in critical condition, but he got popped in the head.
My man got popped in the head. 357 still with me.
Damn.
I knew a guy that got shot 9 times and he survived.
Yeah, 50 Cent. I listened to his album.
Well, no, not 50 Cent. Another guy.
I'm messing with you, dog.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh shit. Nah, it's kind of crazy what you can do to the human body, like how it can survive sometimes.
Well, I read a thing. Believe it or not, now they're having to start to give you like instructions on what to do when you're shot, right? Because it's like becoming a common thing. So from what I saw, do not give up because you're not. It could take an hour for you to die. So just try to get help.
Hey, so this might be a dumb question, but I don't know. I've never been shot. Hopefully, never. I never get shot. But if you get shot, I guess a certain amount of time and lose a certain amount of blood, you have to get a blood transfusion. Like you get blood put back into you, right?
Yes, sir.
So at some point, with all the gun shootings and shit going on, is there gonna be like a blood shortage?
Well, they're gonna have to start scooping up whatever blood's on the street and reusing.
Nah, that's not gonna happen. Nah, we produce enough blood.
Okay, all right.
That's why I want people to donate blood every day.
So I'm like, man, all these fucking people getting shot, man. How much blood they losing and how much they had to put into them? Where's all that blood coming from?
No, that's a good question, though.
My concern would be getting blood that is from some of those that have had that mRNA.
Well, they're saying right now that they're giving big money for anybody that's blood is pure. Blood, sperm, and any kind of plasma.
Shit, I'm son. My blood is tainted.
I'm good. I'm clean.
Nah, man, I'm just joking. I'm saying I'm son. My blood ain't clean.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was just joking. No, it's clean though. Shit is tainted. Devil's bread.
Nah, I hear you.
I'm messing up.
We tainted, ain't nothing we can do about it since DNA, man.
Oh yeah, man. The shit's kind of crazy though, because when Ak was saying something earlier about them dudes just not giving a fuck and crashing out early. In my younger days, man, I was on that son shit in my early 20s, but not like gangbanging and shit. I was just on some dumb shit. But I really didn't think I was gonna live past 26, so I was just fucking reckless, bro. Just because all the shit I'd seen from media until I started educating myself. So I kind of get why people crash the fuck out.
Yeah, some of us don't. Some of us don't care about it's a reason, because like like right now to this day, like I got sons, family, friends I could call right now that they throw their life away right now, this second, right now. Me calling them like, yo, I got a problem, and they'll throw their life away right now. You feel me?
Man, nah, I
So
feel you, man. I ain't gonna lie. Like I say, like I'm a day walker. Like I ain't fully son, cause I kind of grew up with a lot of white people in trailer parks, so I got like a software upgrade very early. So like I'm wired a little different. Like I'm able to like. It sounds stupid to say. I'm able to think things through because the way I grew up instead of just reacting. But bro, there's still like that part of me as a son, man. Like for the people I love though that are with me, like I'm just not just talking about my homeboys I kick it with and shit, but like for my family, man, I'll crash out.
now I feel you. Like I left that life alone. Like I did time and shit. Like I went to jail 2001, came home 04. So when I came home, it was like, man, that's it, man. Like that street shit is dead for me. You feel me? And ever since then, you feel me? Like I'm good. I got a son and shit. Good job. Like I mean, I'm trying to stay low key. I don't be around no certain
Which
people.
which conference are you by?
What's that?
Are you in the Midwest conference, the East, the South
Nah,
conference?
nah. I'm in the East Coast. I'm in Boston.
That's
Oh, I think yeah, that's kind of slow motion right there, right?
Yeah, kinda. It's kinda, but it's a lot of sun shit going on.
damn.
It's picking up.
Nah. It's always been like that. It's always been like that. But it's like they're trying to like gentrify a lot of shit and get like a lot of people out the neighborhoods and shit and move them like push them out up north and shit, different little parts of Massachusetts. But Boston's always been bad.
Yo,
Always been bad.
when I went to Boston to visit, I don't think I saw that many cops. I saw like maybe two cops.
Yeah, depending on what neighborhood you go to though.
Well, I was pretty much in the downtown and in Fenway.
Yeah, there ain't nothing going on around there, man. That's like nah. That's the glider areas and shit, man. Ain't nothing that's like where the money's at. Ain't nothing going on
Right,
around there.
right.
Yeah, shit.
So I know you heard what Baltimore their downtown what they said earlier about it. They got like 18 murders so far in
That's over the
Baltimore's
last year.
downtown.
That's over the last year calendar year. What's up, Cook
Oh,
County?
okay.
What's up, Cook County, man? Cook County in the building. What's happening, man?
Yo, what's good with you, y'all?
Yeah. Oh yeah, y'all guys. My trip to Chicago has been canceled, man. So like,
Oh, damn.
yeah, I have to get out there next time. Next time, my travels bring me to Chicago. Um, I hopefully, yeah, next time
Yo,
it'll be another
when were you
time.
coming?
No, I was supposed to come. I was supposed to come in a couple days, in the 15th, but I'm not.
Really?
I'm not coming.
What were you coming for? To visit or yeah,
Oh no,
business?
no. Just some business, man. With my wife and whatnot. Just some business.
So
Okay.
so
Yeah.
you so you don't need to ride with Miss Frizzle in that armored school bus, huh?
Nah, man. I'm cool,
You don't
man.
you don't need Crook County as escort. When you do, make sure you
Nah,
holler at them.
yeah, I was definitely was gonna do that, but yeah, I travel a lot, so much. Who knows when next I may be back to Chicago soon, but
Well, look, if you come here, I just word of advice, just walk with your head low. You know what I mean?
oh yeah, definitely, man. I'm versed in sun Moors and values and behavior.
Real shit. Real shit.
Yeah, keep your mouth shut. Don't open doors for sunmen, man.
Hey,
Right.
well,
Don't
look,
show weakness.
I don't live in the community, so you all good over this way.
Yeah. Alex says AP said it the way you beat the sun, man, is you bring the smoke to the barbecue. We did in the 90s in LA, SC, Mexican Mafia put the green light on the sun, man. Now on burritos, kill on burritos, sons kill sons. Yeah, I mean, those sunmen in LA, they stay in line, man. They scared of them on burritos. They scared of them on burritos out here. What do we have here? This is the dating site for jail. It says,
There you go.
did you know that there are millions of men and women who are currently incarcerated, just waiting for someone to write and exchange life experiences? All of the inmates who are listed here enjoy getting letters, especially those letters which help build their confidence. It can be a lot of fun communicating with these male and female inmates. Oh, wow. Meetainmate.com.
Hey, yo,
Yeah.
talking about them burritos. This is the same way in Chicago.
Oh,
Motherfucking
they
brothers
scared?
ain't. Oh yeah, nah, we ain't fucking with it. When there was all that loot was happening, it was a whole thing. If y'all seen a black person in like the Mexican neighborhood, the burrito neighborhood, and they wanted to loot, they shoot on sight. They had put a whole little memo out there, bulletin.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh,
I remember that shit.
yeah,
I remember that
they
shit.
were
They put out a
shooting. They were shooting
bulletin.
at each other. They were shooting at each other, because the
Nah,
Summon
but you
didn't
know what?
appreciate that.
You know what it was too. The news is trying to play a narrative. They're trying to make it seem like the Mexican people were trying to be racist, like they weren't trying to make the black people come shop in their
Bro, because
neighborhoods and
they
shit.
wasn't looting. Like the Mexicans were not looting their
Right.
community.
Oh no, I know.
And
I feel you.
yeah,
But you know what, dude? It's like I said, we don't really entertain that white girl shit, So when they were saying that they were being racist, motherfuckers weren't entertaining that. We're trying to protect our neighborhood. We don't have shit. The little shit that we do have, y'all not burning that down.
y'all got more than us.
Yeah.
Hey, did y'all see the little Down syndrome Latin King?
Yeah, I seen that shit. That shit's
Oh
crazy.
yeah, what a goofy fucking
I
Buford.
dealt with that motherfucker.
What Down syndrome? What's your mom?
Latin kid from Chicago, right? He's from Chicago, right?
Yeah, I dealt with that motherfucker on some police shit.
It's a Down syndrome gangbanger?
Down
Yeah,
syndrome Latin King.
He call that
he
shit
look
body
he look like
snatching.
he sounds. He look like he sounds.
Yeah, he looked
Oh.
Down
Hey, Hawk, on
syndrome.
that dating
Ugly.
site for
So they just let
inmates, I
anyone in now?
guarantee you 95% are women that are hooking up there.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll pass on that image shit though. I don't want. I'm good.
Wow.
I put
So-
the follow up to that smoke shop shooter in the smoke shop shooter in the back chat too.
Okay, thank you. So we have
Hey, but Gladderman, you sound shocked. I would have been shocked if he didn't have a CVS receipt.
This is more than I'm not gonna say I'm gonna wait for
Yeah, don't tell him everything. Don't tell
Don't
him
spoil
everything.
it.
Yeah, this
It's
shit's good.
it's
Shit's
that bad.
good. Shit's
It's
good.
that bad.
Shit's
Yeah,
good, bro.
Speaking of Chicago,
it's beyond CVS.
Speaking of Chicago, this was 2 years ago in Chicago.
All 15 of those who were shot outside this funeral survived, but their conditions range from
15 people shot at his funeral in Chicago.
Yeah, I remember this like it was yesterday.
They all survived.
Which one was this one?
All right, so the dude that got killed, right? He was a gangbanger from what was that? Wooga World, right? So Wooga World is on 75th. His ops is on 79th. They had the funeral on 79th. They told the police it's probably gonna get shot up. There's 4 police cars in the area right now as this shit happening. They pull up in a stolen car. They know we can't chase, and they light that shit up. They shoot majority of old women.
Oh, they know you can't chase them in a stolen car?
They know we can't chase.
Wow. God, that's scary. That is terrible.
Yeah, it is.
Well, you had to call City Hall and get permission before you could chase, almost.
Right. And me and you both know these guys are dumb as fuck, but they're not that dumb. They know what's going on.
No, that's crafty.
They're not dumb. They're opportunists, man.
Yeah, they're crafty. Damn.
And every funeral that damn near gets shot up is from a homicide victim. You know, like it ain't like fucking regular people funerals get shot up.
Yeah.
But it's good for business, right?
Damn, they need to start banning gang funerals and shit.
That's what they did with King Von and FBG Duck funeral. Like they made it like it was basically like impossible for them to have a funeral, and then they didn't live stream it like they usually do at these funeral homes. And they ended up having FBG Duck funeral at a funeral home that had been closed for like multiple years.
Right. I put it like this. If you come to Chicago and you're driving down the street and you see a funeral going on, be careful.
Yeah. Man.
Damn, man, Chicago getting hit hard, man. Ain't that Walmart leaving Chicago too soon?
Sunday, baby.
Yeah, man. Damn, Chicago getting hit harder and harder, man.
Yeah, and those Walmarts in 2020 they got destroyed during the looting, and people were saying how much longer are they gonna last? They didn't last long.
Shooting over the weekend in a Harlem smoke shop, and it is another case of a man out on bail charged with committing more violent crimes. Police say the gunman, Messiah Nantwi, was out on bail for a shootout with police in February of 2021, and in that.
Yup, Funk 12.
He had a shootout with 3 cops.
And he's out on the street.
And he's out on the street.
Man, this system ain't shit.
Wow.
It wasn't like this. The system wasn't like this back in the days, man. For real.
Oh, jeez.
Or violent crimes. Police say the gunman, Messiah Nantwi, was out on bail for a shootout with police in February of 2021. And in that incident, the officers were not struck and returned fire, hitting Nantwi several times, leaving him in critical condition. But police say the 21-year-old used his freedom to shoot and kill a man inside of a smoke shop on Harlem on Sunday night. And that is not all. Police say the night before, he killed a 19-year-old in East Harlem. Both murders.
Yikes. Yikes. Yeah, now you right. I hear you, man.
Wait, bro. This is fucking nuts.
Yo, dude, jackpot.
This is not D.A. Bragg, is it?
Yes, but well, this
Harlem is in Manhattan, so yes, it is.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Harlem is North Manhattan.
So this is Alvin Bragg's area.
This is his, and
This is his spot, man.
He's
wow. So no solution.
This can't be tough on crime. D.A. Bragg turned a misdemeanor from 5 years or 7 years ago to a felony, letting this motherfucker go.
Yes, this is it. And he's been doing this. It's just a clown world we live in.
Right.
And that is not all. Police say the night before, he killed a 19-year-old in East Harlem. Both murders linked to gangs. Now, Nantwi finds himself behind bars again after his arrest yesterday.
In Queens, police are searching for the person responsible for a hit and run that took the life of a 14-year-old boy. Police say he was riding his bike on 21st Street in Astoria, where he was hit by an SUV. Now, this is Citizen app of that scene, and it all happened around 9:30 last night.
Yo, if I didn't know any better, I'd say Bragg hates POC, unleashing this demon on him.
Yeah, this is my God, that guy's a menace, a fucking straight up menace to society. Golly, man, a straight up menace. Hold on, I gotta save this other one. Hold on. Let me see if I got another story on this cat. Let's see. This cat right here.
He say 21-year-old Messiah Nantwi is a poster child for a broken justice system, accused of the execution-style shooting.
Oh, so him and dude was rapping. Okay, you can see this guy. You know, he I know that look like what? Huh? Oh, really? Yeah, all right. You know what I'm saying? This guy was rapping. From a distance, it looked like it was just an ordinary customer. You know what I'm saying? Came in there. But yeah, he was engaged in some kind of back and forth.
Accused of the execution-style shooting of 36-year-old Brandon Brunson inside of a Harlem smoke shop. The shooting was caught on surveillance video, too graphic to show in its entirety. So we are stopping it right there. Police say just a day before this shooting, a few blocks away, Nantwi shot and killed a 19-year-old the same way. Overnight Tuesday, officers.
Oh, so he shot him in the back of the head when he wasn't looking. That's his MO.
Right.
Yeah, I told you Harlem, man. When I was in Harlem, it was a lot of unsavory looking characters, man. I mean, it's a no, seriously. I mean, they look
unhinged.
And it doesn't look like they have a problem looking like that. Like they want you to think they're grimy. Like grimy. Like
they are grimy.
They are grimy. This dude looked like he didn't make it in the Wu-Tang Clan.
Do you know what he had to shoot at with the cops over? Do you know what the cops were about to do? They were going to give him a ticket for graffiti, and he shot at the cops.
Damn. Yeah,
Yo, if I was a sister, I would say we need to clamp down on these guns and this mental health.
Yeah,
nah, man,
man.
it's not that, man. It's these smoke shops, man. These smoke shops erupt.
Oh yeah, we got to punish the smoke shop. It's obviously their fault.
Yeah, you know these smoke shops. You just be standing
Hey,
there erupting.
this Harlem, when they mad about them putting a bank in the area, the ATM.
They what? Because they people are gonna get robbed, or why would they mad?
Yeah. They said that they didn't want the
Damn.
ATM in the area.
Wow.
Thanks.
Wow. Yeah, but this is a lot of unsavory. Like, cause you got to think New York. Each borough is like its own mega city. So like, it's millions of people
It's
in Manhattan.
its own shithole.
Yeah, it's a million people in Manhattan, man. I mean, you walk through Harlem, man, it's a gazillion men up there just milling around and standing around.
Overnight Tuesday, officers working both cases spotted the 21-year-old and found a gun nearby. That's how they made the connection.
Ballistics match. The 9mm is a ballistics match to both incidents. He's apprehended. He's driving a city bike on 115th Street and Lenox Avenue, and patrol pulls him over.
Nantwi was also arrested in 2021. Sources tell Pix 11 News he shot at police officers in the Bronx. During the confrontation, officers were not hit, but they returned fire. Nantwi was hit several times. He was arrested and charged with attempted murder of a police officer, but posted bail and was released pending the case. Police believe both shootings in Harlem were gang-related. We tried to speak with Brunson's family, but a neighbor said they moved out of the building. She remembers seeing him in passing.
It's bad. It's bad.
Yeah.
That's really bad. Somebody loved one, somebody father, somebody uncle, you know?
Back in Harlem, both shootings are raising concerns. Officers from the 28th Precinct were out to ease fears. Captain Tariq Shepard is the commanding officer.
I'm born and raised there. So whenever I hear that there was a homicide, somebody's injured, the first thing I think about is my own family. And then I also can understand and be empathetic with people who lose family members to violence in Harlem because my own family lives here. I've been dealing with this my whole life.
Nantwi was charged with 2 counts of murder and criminal possession of a weapon.
Fatal shooting over the weekend in a
Man. Man.
Well, it doesn't have to be a smoke shop. I posted one in the back chat where they're arguing on the street, pulls out a gun, pistol whip, slaps him across the face.
Oh, I saw that.
Shoots him
Right.
once. He keeps running, comes around the corner, shoots him again. He falls down, then comes walking over, shoots him 3 or 4 times in the head. Chases the other guy off, then comes back and shoots the guy that's laying there dead, already shot in the head, a couple more times on his way walking off.
I saw that. Put it like this: Rumble only. That one.
Rumble only.
New at 5 o'clock, surveillance video shows the arrest of Lydell Grant. That's the man accused in a deadly road rage shooting last Friday. It's video you'll only see here on KHOU 11. Sherman Chow has been following the story since it broke in Southwest Houston, where that shooting occurred. Sherman?
Yeah, that murder happened Thursday night next to a gas station behind us here on Hiram Park. And since then, a makeshift memorial has gone up in the median. There are some flowers, beer cans, and an old deck of playing cards. Now, the arrest you are about to see happened just 3/4 of a mile from where we are now standing. Home security cameras were rolling when Houston police pulled up to this house Thursday. Investigators say outside was the white Lexus involved in a nearby road rage killing just hours earlier. SWAT officers got into position. Moments later, 46-year-old Lydell Grant surrendered without incident. He was taken in for questioning and charged with murder.
Defendant shot the complaining witness who struck the rear of the defendant's vehicle.
This was all captured on digital video from a location nearby.
Police say that video shows a man and woman get into a white Lexus, run a stop sign, causing an accident with a Toyota. The Lexus driver exited and shot the Toyota driver 5 times, killing him.
6 prior felonies and 2 misdemeanors from 1994 to 2009. Bond will be set at $1 million.
But Lydell Grant had also been wrongly convicted of a previous murder. The woman who owns the property where Grant was arrested.
Ak, are you muted?
They say he was wrongly convicted of the other one. That'd be bullshit. Them wrongful convictions be bullshit. Those people don't be wrongly convicted. Those people, some white people, some good, well-to-do white people came along and fucking felt sorry for their asses. Lydell Grant. So
And they found some inconsistencies in witness statements and discredited them because of it, so they got exonerated.
Exactly, or appeals or some shit.
Right. When they kept telling me that our system was unjust, this is what I didn't know this is what they meant.
Yeah.
2009. Bond will be set at $1 million.
But Lydell Grant had also been wrongly convicted of a previous murder. The woman who owns the property where Grant was arrested last week told us this.
He was incarcerated before, wrongly incarcerated, and they let him out, and I think he did 9 years.
It was 7 years. For a 2010 murder he did not commit. The Innocence Project, DNA, and a confession cleared Grant in that case. As for what happens in this 2023 road rage shooting, that remains to be seen. Meantime, the victim in this incident has been identified as 33-year-old Edwin Aravelo.
Damn, he killed the Hombrito, man. He whacked out Hombrito, man.
For not realizing that he was going to run a stoplight and or a stop sign and avoiding hitting him.
No impulse, bro.
Right, but you gotta understand, this is why people like me in Kirk County keep it on us, baby. It's always there.
I have help. If a guy jumps out the car, are you instantly gonna shoot him? If not,
Hey, look. I'm not trying to be like Monster and Mayo, but if a motherfucker gets off aggressively, he better fucking watch his hands. He better watch how he moves. He might get shot.
Yeah, but he hopped out and just lit the car up. I mean, you be reaching.
Hey, look, it's gonna be a shootout then. I'm telling you that right now.
Hey, you gotta understand, man. Wicked's trying to go home, bro. Wicked's trying to go home.
I'm not, I'm not doubting that, and I don't be trying to burst nobody's bubble.
Right. No, trust me. I know, Chief, but I'm telling you right now, if a motherfucker, first of all, you're not gonna get close to me, right? But if you come into me aggressively, I'm telling you right now. I mean, so what am I supposed to do?
When I'm driving, my gun is within like 6 inches of my hand.
Yeah, it's
ready
the
to
worst
go.
place. The worst place to be if you get ambushed is inside the car.
Yeah, I just think that like it's the gun thing. The gun is not a I've been in cases where dudes had guns and the other dude pulled the gun first, and it's like I've been in cases
So
where
are you just saying the gun don't make you bulletproof?
had the gun out, but the other dude had the gun up.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
right.
well,
The
look,
gun don't make you bulletproof, bro.
right. Well, look, Chief, I'm a firm believer that the chips will fall where they may.
Hey man, salute man, but this is I listen. I definitely ain't trying to burst nobody's bubble, man. I get it, man. It's all great.
Well,
man.
the sunman's gonna get out and shoot you anyway. You might as well return fire, and maybe he misses, and you take him out before he finishes you.
Right. Or maybe I could try to reason with the sunman.
I don't think that's gonna work.
That ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, nah.
I don't think that's gonna work, man. That's not gonna work out too well for you. You better off trying to reason with a goddamn fucking monkey or some shit, man.
What a rock? What a fucking rock?
Some
For a
man,
man accused of murdering another
going to
driver after a crash.
some man
At
gonna
least a
take you.
monkey has a sense of self-preservation, and he's like, no, I don't want to run right into somebody that's gonna beat me with a rod. He'll back off. Some man takes that as a challenge.
Right, I was gonna say that. Like this dude might take it like, "Oh, you a bitch."
The some man gonna look at you reasoning like you soft. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? He sees that we see that like, oh, you a bitch, yeah, you soft, you trying to get out of it. You ain't trying to run headlong into it.
Breaking overnight, word is set at $1 million for a man accused of murdering another driver after a crash.
Turns out this suspect was actually released from prison more than 3 years ago for another murder, which he was ultimately found innocent of. ABC 13's Rosie Wynn is live in downtown Houston. Rosie, we have covered Lydell Grant's story quite extensively over the last couple of years. What's the latest?
Erica and Jeff, Lydell Grant's story made national headlines 3 years ago after he was first exonerated for a fatal stabbing in 2010. Now he's in trouble with the law again after Houston police say he is involved with a fatal road rage shooting. And his family back
Certainly
in November
guilty of something else.
2019.
I feel rejuvenated. I feel free now.
It was the day Grant was released from prison after serving 8 years of a life sentence for the fatal stabbing of a man outside of a Montrose bar in 2010. With the help of the Innocence Project of Texas, new DNA evidence, and a confession from the actual stabber, Grant was officially exonerated in 2021.
Being locked up, if I ain't learned nothing else, I learned how to help patients.
But nearly 2 years later, Grant could be heading back to prison. Houston police say they were called to a road rage shooting Thursday around 11:50 p.m. near Hiram Clark Road and Brentwood Park Drive. Investigators believe Grant and another woman were leaving a corner store when he ran a stop sign, causing a Toyota to hit him. They say Grant allegedly got out of his car and then fired multiple shots through the windshield of the Toyota before getting back into his car and taking off. The driver of the Toyota, Edwin Arevalo, died at the scene.
There's surveillance footage from a nearby gas station that captured the incident. So the court is concerned for community safety.
In a statement to ABC 13, a spokesperson for the Innocence Project of Texas wrote, quote,
She said that shit like she was sorry. She's like, in the court is for community safe. Like they be saying it, they be sounding like they just. What happened to them old judges? Be like, man, like just firm and throw the book at you. This bitch is like whiny and shit.
Died at the scene.
There's surveillance footage from a nearby gas station that captured the incident. So the court is concerned for community safety.
In a statement to ABC 13, a spokesperson for the Innocence Project of Texas wrote, quote, "We are saddened by the news of this tragic event, and our thoughts and sympathies go out to the victim's family. We stand behind Mr. Grant's previous exoneration, which was granted by the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals." The defense mentioned that Grant has been running his own home cleaning business and has been working to support himself and help his mother out. His bond has been set at $1 million. Reporting live from downtown Houston, Rosie Wynn, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
So let me get this straight. The guy, he's trying to straighten out his life. He's running his own business. He runs a stop sign, causing somebody else to hit him. So he decided to just kill him right on camera.
Yep, that's exactly what happened.
And once serving a life sentence behind bars and later found innocent, finds himself back in jail tonight.
Records show the state has been paying Lydell Grant since a court of appeals declared his innocence. But will the state continue to pay him for the wrongful conviction as his new murder charge plays out? ABC 13's Brooke Taylor has been looking into this all afternoon. Brooke.
You're right now, Grant is behind
housing him is payment enough.
$1 million bond, whether he makes bond or he stays behind bars. He's going to continue getting paid by the state unless he is convicted in this new.
So he is
Well,
housed
okay,
and he
but
gets
wait a
paid.
Can't the family of the guy that got killed do a wrongful death? This is one guy that they can actually sue and get some money on.
Yeah, no doubt though, but I'm
You
just
got to get
wondering, like,
convicted first
how is he getting paid while he's still in? Oh, that's just crazy.
because he hasn't been
That's
convicted yet. He hasn't been convicted
yeah,
yet.
he got the conviction. Yeah, he got to be convicted. But god damn, this is just. I mean, it's just insane, man. This guy. I want to know the facts of that earlier case because I'm not sure he didn't do that, man. He looked like he did that shit, and maybe somebody who had life sentence took the beef.
Yeah, I think his boy took it from him.
Yeah.
Afternoon, Brooke.
Right now, Grant is behind bars on a $1 million bond. Whether he makes bond or he stays behind bars, he's going to continue getting paid by the state unless he is convicted in this new murder charge. 46-year-old Lyadel Grant is charged with murdering a 33-year-old man during what police call a road rage shooting on Hiram Clark last week.
I feel free now.
Grant was convicted of stabbing a 28-year-old to death at a Montrose bar in 2010. In 2021, a Texas Court of Criminal Appeals officially declared his
White people be so happy. Like, they be acting like this is the greatest thing.
Hey, you remember the some man in Seattle that was getting payments while he was locked up or whatever the fuck?
He got paid
Okay.
like $9,000 a month. This is a common thing, man. They pay
For
you,
killing
man.
gliders.
Yeah, how you sign up for that program, huh?
Gotta commit the crime. Your mic is like real, like I don't know what's the word, like loud, like it's vibrant. It's like
My bad. I'll turn it down, man.
yeah, you got like just like turn the I don't know, treble off on it or something. But it's like I can't think of the word for it, but it's very very loud.
He needs transportation so he can blow a stop sign and murder somebody in cold blood in front of a camera and blow his $10,000 a month check plus his business and everything else.
I mean, he might still beat it out.
Yeah, I mean,
he's not mad about his conviction because he knows he was in there he was doing other stuff, even if he didn't commit the murder. He knows he was dirty, so he's not mad.
Thank God Almighty.
I feel free now. It was a long time coming. I always claim my innocence. I just thank God to the Innocent Project. They really, I mean, they believed in me. They took my case and they worked it. I think the supporters, my family, y'all can see I got a beautiful family. Man, it's wonderful. God is good. I always know that God is good, man. God is wonderful because He was there for me when I ain't have nobody. God was there for me. Taking it one day at a time. Taking it one day at a time and getting this behind me and moving forward after this is all done. But the last 9 years, man, I feel like an animal in the cage, especially knowing that I didn't do it, knowing that the actual killer was still roaming the streets, knowing that my family was suffering. It was hard, but with God, I gotta keep saying, with God, it was all good. All good.
How hopeful are you for an exoneration?
Well, I mean, this step right here, I really believe that the justice system is going to do the right thing. That's what I want to believe. I want to believe that, the Harris County District Attorney Office will go ahead and exonerate me because the evidence and the investigation of the case, it proves itself.
And what are you going to do for Thanksgiving?
Eat big turkey with my family and my aunt Keith.
I can't find nothing on the case. The actual what got him off? Like what was the actual thing that got him
Maybe the cop
Maybe he was just an
blackface.
accomplice. Maybe he was just an accomplice or something like that. And the guy that actually committed the murder and left behind the DNA was his friend or his bud or whatever, and he ended up getting
Right.
caught for it, and
You
it
know,
didn't
Maybe
you know how
snitch on a friend.
the judge was
you
the
know how much
somewhere when he was in high school. Like,
do you know how much he got from the state that he just blew?
How much?
$697,000. He just blew it. I'm sorry, that guy was guilty of something.
Yeah.
well, I did say that if someone hits the ladder, he'll still kill you.
Yeah, that.
Welcome to Making the Case. I'm Yorit Tewolde. Lydell Grant, a Houston man sentenced to life in prison, has been found not guilty by the state's highest criminal court. This comes 10 years after he was first convicted and a year and a half since he was released from prison.
Once again, this is a huge day for me. I thank God, I always got to put God first because it was him who I had when I ain't had nobody else, And I knew that this day was going to come, and I just didn't know when. But I knew this day was going to come because I was actually innocent. I didn't commit this crime at all.
Grant was wrongfully convicted of murder back in 2012, stemming from a stabbing outside a local bar. The prosecution's case was essentially based on eyewitness testimony. Grant maintained his innocence from the beginning, and with the assistance.
So somebody saw this dude, but they didn't see. Somebody was like, "Oh, that
6 eyewitnesses, Ak. 6.
6 eyewitnesses saw him do the shit."
Plus
Well, it's not
somebody wrote,
7.
plus somebody wrote down the VIN number of his car. That's how the cops traced it to him.
You talking about for this murder or the old one?
For the old one.
Yeah, I mean, like I know something about the way he was communicating. I just feel like he did that one. I don't know. I'm a son. I'm a son man, and I know when son men is bullshitting.
Of the Texas Innocence Project, authorities matched the DNA from the case to another person. He was released from prison on bond in 2019 with his conviction set aside. And just last month, a court declared him innocent, which presumably makes it easier for Grant to be compensated for the years he spent behind bars. I've got Mr. Lydell Grant's attorney, Mike Ware, with me tonight. Mike, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me.
We were supposed to have Lydell, but I'm hearing that he's having some audio issues, so hopefully he'll join the conversation soon. All right, so talk to us about Lydell's case and how he wound up in prison for a murder he didn't commit.
Well, unfortunately, this is the sort of tragedy that happens all too often in our system. Fortunately, in Lydell's case, ultimately we were able to prevail. It was, a case of the police deciding way too soon who the perpetrator was and then making a case on Lydell Grant rather than trying to solve the case. Ultimately, 6 eyewitnesses were totally mistaken. And because of that, Mr. Grant was, convicted of a crime he was completely innocent of, had nothing to do with. And like I said, fortunately, in his case, we were able to identify him as someone who was wrongfully convicted and ultimately able to prove that he was innocent and able to prove who the actual perpetrator of this murder was.
Mike, it's so infuriating that a lot of these types of cases where individuals are found to have been innocent of a crime they never committed is that it all hinges on DNA. And in this case, that DNA was reanalyzed. So what happened in the trial when prosecutors used that same DNA to convict him?
Well, the DNA was a mixture of DNA that was collected from the victim's fingernails.
A mixture. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they had his DNA and then they had somebody else's DNA. This guy's real slick. He got him off on some kind of technicality, and he's responsible for the death of this person.
Yeah, this is the Innocent Project shit. This is what they do.
Right.
And because of the nature of the way the murder.
Not to sound like fishermen, but the Innocence Project gotta be juice.
Oh
took place, that was highly relevant DNA, and there was an unknown donor connected with the victim's fingernails. And at trial, the Houston Police Department forensic analyst misstated that Lydell could not be excluded from that mixture under the victim's fingernails. And in fact, when we got the case years later, and my students and I were analyzing this case, we could see that he was clearly excluded as the donor of the DNA under the fingernails. And then we were able to get the original raw data to a company called Cybergenetics that has a state-of-the-art software for analyzing DNA mixtures. And they were able to exclude Mr. Grant. They were able to identify the profile of the actual perpetrators, or perpetrator rather. And we were able to upload that profile into the national database and identify whose DNA it was and ultimately who the actual perpetrator was.
Mike, I'm being told that we have Lydell Grant by phone.
Okay. Yeah, that's.
Would you like to hear the facts of the case?
Yeah, go ahead.
Around 11:15 p.m. on December 10th, 2010, at Club Bar, a nightclub located in the Montrose area of Houston, 4 bouncers and 2 patrons of the club and a bystander observed the complainant, Aaron Shearhorn, run up to the door of the club in a panic. Shearhorn was followed by a larger man who chased him up to the club. Shearhorn screamed for help and opened his shirt up to show that he'd been stabbed. As he tried to get inside the club, the assailant stabbed him again, chased him to an adjacent parking lot, and then stabbed him several more times. After Shearhorn collapsed, the assailant made eye contact with one of the witnesses and calmly left the scene. Shearhorn later died from his injuries. 6 out of the 7 eyewitnesses identified the appellant, both in a photo array and in court. 5 days after Shearhorn's murder, Houston police stopped the appellant for a traffic violation. Officer Allen arrested the appellant for driving with a suspended license, and he discovered that a appellant was wanted for questioning in connection with Shearhorn's murder, so he transported the appellant to the homicide division. During the ensuing search, they discovered and photographed a wig, ski mask, Halloween mask that was a scream mask contained in his trunk.
Wow.
And just because he didn't have his DNA under his fingernails didn't mean he didn't attack him. It just means he may have had an accomplice.
Yeah, and it may mean that, like you said, that, I just don't see how you stab somebody to death in front of all these people. And he's a distinct looking son, man. Like he looked like him. Like he don't look like nobody. He don't look like me. He looked like him. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. And six people picked him out, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, he's a big son, man. He's not like he's big barrel chested son, man.
Well, yeah, but
the guy didn't get a chance to say, "Oh, I got attacked by 2 people, and one of them stabbed me. The other one was trying to hold me," and that could have been where he got the fingernail DNA under his fingernails.
Well, the thing
he's fighting the guy that's holding him.
Well, the thing is that in order for him to be the guy who stabbed the guy, he'd have to be impulsive and not care about life and limb, and just do whatever. He's not that kind of guy.
Yeah,
I mean,
facts. He would never do something like that. Let's see. Let's see.
I know that project.
And we've never seen Sunmen run in packs. They're always loners, right? They always attack alone, right?
Yeah. Man.
I know that Project Innocent, whatever that thing's called. I know they pissed the fuck off.
The Innocence Project got OJ off, man.
No, what I'm saying, I know they pissed off because this guy he's getting arrested right now for murder and shit. And
I'm positive he's not the first guy that they've gotten off that went out.
Oh yeah, definitely not. That's what they do because they get off guys. These guys are not innocent. Let's see. So let's go down to Winston-Salem, man. Winston-Salem.
XII 12 News.
Guilford County and in Winston-Salem, 4 people are dead following a shooting.
Make sure you hit the PayPal, Cash App, Super Chat. Support the channel. Let's see if we get some new supporters in here today. Support the channel. Hit the PayPal, Cash App, Super Chat. Salute to Eric S., Oc Nation Hall of Famer, coming through once again, man. Winston-Salem.
XII 12 News. This is breaking news.
And we are following several breaking news stories this afternoon. 1 person is dead in a plane crash in Guilford County, and in Winston-Salem, 4 people are dead following a shooting. That is where we begin here at 4. This is all happening on Brook Hill Drive, just south of Ebert Road and Ardmore Road. And that's where we find WXII 12's Kara Peters. She is live with the very latest for us. Kara?
Hey there, Lindsay. I can tell you that it's still a very active scene. We have seen a lot of high emotions, not just from those that may have known the victims in the shooting, but also the neighbors. And I can tell you that shock has been the overarching theme with this whole incident. Many neighbors that we have talked to today tell us that it's normally quiet out here. They have loved living here. And in fact, many people have told us that they have never felt safer since living here. So again, still a very active scene. And here off of Brook Hill Drive, we have both sides of the street blocked off with caution tape. Now, at this time, we are still limited with information, but I can tell you once again that police do confirm with us that 4 people have died in this shooting. They got the call just before noon this afternoon. We have also asked about a motive or a suspect. They have not been able to give us any of those details right now. But again, we have seen a lot of large crowds. We have seen emotions, but again, neighbors that are just shocked and overwhelmed to hear that something like this could have happened in their home. So again, we are still trying to gather some details, and any other things that we are able to get from police, we will be letting you know. So for now.
So they don't know anything. This is definitely a son, man.
Pastor Chris Scott, who lives almost across the street from the house where the shooting occurred, offered his services to the family.
Saw the family hurting. I'm a minister, so I just went to, offer condolences and anything I can do to help and assist and be there. This is just the beginning of the process, unfortunately, with grief. There's a lot to come after and processing and things of that nature. So just making myself available any way that I can. I work with an organization called Live Free USA, livefreeusa.org. And what we do is we work to reduce gun violence, reimagine public safety, and kind of console and help families that are going through police brutality situations and things of that nature. This is the work that we do on a daily basis. So we were just talking about, the mass shootings that happened in Nashville and some of the other shootings that aren't even making the press, the need for common sense gun reform, not to repeal the Second Amendment and take people's guns away, but with just some common sense adjustments, red flag laws and things of that nature, we could reduce a lot of these shootings and things that have happened. Unfortunately, in our state, we just made it a lot easier for people to get guns.
You want red flag laws with sisters that will just come up and say, "Oh, he's dangerous. He needs to be taken out," and just get your gun rights taken away, because the sisters are that vicious. They do that.
But
and then they'd send their new boyfriend to get you once they had your guns away.
As soon as he said reimagine public safety, defund the police.
Oh, freaking programmed, because he's not coming up with these ideas.
These people are crazy. Okay, so this might have been a murder-suicide.
We're on top of breaking news. 2 stories.
One thing I noticed about that last one was that they said 1 person got killed in an airplane crash, 4 people killed by Sunmen. So 1 air travel, 1 Sunmen 4.
We're on top of breaking news. 2 stories on WFMY News 2 at 6. 1 person died in a fiery plane crash on the side of a Triad highway. Lots of people saw it happen and rushed in to help.
Then that's a glider. That's a glider.
Police found a mother and her 3 children dead. We begin with that deadly shooting investigation at a home in Winston-Salem. WFMY News 2 Sydney Moore joins us live with a closer look at this heartbreaking situation.
Yeah, Julie, Chad, it happened here on Brook Hill Drive. Police found a mother and 3 children, all under the age of 15, with gunshot wounds. Now, they are still investigating this case ever since noon, and as you can see behind me, it is still an active scene. Now,
Okay, so this is starting to look like a murder suicide. That's looking like a murder suicide. So we dealing with. I don't really cover murder suicides like that because those are so common. People just kill their whole fucking families and shit. Let's see. Give me a city, man. Give me a city.
Rochester, New York.
Gate the Great. Who are you? Gate the Great. What's up? Who are you?
I'm a long time listener. It's the first time I ever coming up though.
Okay, what's up, man? How's it going?
Same old. Just watching Ock Nation.
Did the Lakers lose or did they win?
You tell me. I ain't really into basketball.
They were losing when I was watching. When I went upstairs and I caught a glimpse of it, I think it was
Tie
down.
game. Tie game.
What?
Yeah, they came back. Yeah.
Damn. LeBron said, "Man, fuck this shit. This is embarrassing, man. You gotta mute yourself, God of the Great, man."
Got you.
How about Detroit?
Let's see. Let's do Rochester first, man. Jeez. Oh, man. These cities, man. Rochester. Let's see what's going on here.
New at this hour, Buffalo attorney Nate McMurray has filed a counterclaim against Irondequoit Police Chief Scott Peters over allegations that Peter attended a racist Juneteenth party in Rochester last July. Chief Peters initially filed a defamation suit against McMurray after the attorney emailed the Irondequoit Town Board, urging them not to hire Peters earlier this year. Peters denied ever attending the party, which made national headlines. The chief sued McMurray for damaging his reputation and causing emotional distress. Today, McMurray confirmed he has now filed a counter lawsuit against Chief Peters. McMurray represents Jared Jones, a black firefighter who says he was forced to attend that racist Juneteenth party. McMurray also represents Patrina Freeman, an Irondequoit board member who was censured after speaking publicly about alleged mistreatment and discrimination from others.
So you're white, the worst possible thing you can do is be a racist. That's the framework y'all live under. That's the worst thing. Mass shooting, pedophilia, bad. Worse than that, being a fucking racist. Let's see.
I bet most white people would agree with you too.
Yeah, society's made it that way, man.
Yeah, that shit's crazy.
Morning, approaching 6 o'clock, 37 degrees. I'm News 8's Brennan Summers. That news breaking overnight. There was a shooting in Rochester near a nightclub. One man there was wounded and he was dropped off at the hospital. Jatira Marsh is covering the case. She's live downtown at RPD headquarters with the newest updates we got from detectives. Jatira.
That's right, Brennan. Police say a 51-year-old man was shot. They say that they got the call around 1:40 this morning. They responded to the scene on Central Avenue, just east of Joseph Avenue. The gunshot victim got dropped off at the hospital in a private vehicle. Police say when the man was shot while walking along Central Avenue, he is expected to survive. Now, police are investigating the link between the shooting and Allure nightclub, which is along Central Avenue. At this time, no suspects are in custody.
A 51-year-old man walking down the street. Hey, man, anybody came from the club, had beef in the club, got shot. Mm. Oh wow. So we got a home in Chicago. They're bitching because the Whole Foods is leaving. In Rochester, they're bitching because the Whole Foods is coming.
Opponents of the Whole Foods project in Brighton are now asking a court to prevent the grocery store from opening. Whole Foods is currently set to open its doors on April 12th. That's next Wednesday. Christian Garzone joining us now in studio with the latest on this. Christian.
Adam, this court paperwork is fresh, filed today. The opponents are basically saying we're appealing a recent court loss and we want the court to stop Whole Foods from opening while the appeals process takes place. As you might remember, a Wegmans-backed group sued trying to stop the project, but lost last month when a judge sided with the developers and the town of Brighton. The issue was over a foot trail that runs in the back of the project. Well, now the group Save Monroe Ave and about 5 others are appealing, saying the trial gave enough evidence to show the town improperly allowed, quote, a massive plaza to be built directly on top of the Auburn Trail. In a statement today, Daniele said, quote, it's no surprise Wegmans has chosen to appeal.
This is white people shit. I didn't know Wegmans owned Whole Foods. Did y'all know that?
Oh, they're actually suing each other. Amazon owns Whole Foods.
Oh, Amazon owns Whole Foods. Okay, Wegmans is suing them. Okay.
I love Wegmans, man.
Yeah, Wegmans makes some good cookies and shit, man. Yeah, we get pizza from Wegmans all the time too. Yeah, Wegmans is pretty good. Let's see. Oh, here we go.
That's pretty peaceful up there, huh?
The second teen involved in the killing of 53-year-old Stephen Amenhauser by setting him on fire in 2021 is expected to be sentenced. Adriel Ryler Jr. was 14 at the time that this happened. Riley was found guilty of second-degree murder this year. The other teen, Xavion Perry, pleaded guilty to manslaughter, and he was sentenced to 25 years.
Yeah, I remember this case. I covered this. They set this white guy on fire. He was like sitting on his porch, and they just, for fun, they set him on fire. And he ended up dying. 2 little 17s, man. Remember that case.
Damn.
Yeah, man. They set his ass. They set his ass on fire. He dead. Let's see what else is going on here.
I thought it would be crazier up there than this.
This just in, a man already in jail for an attempted murder investigation in the Finger Lakes now faces charges in a new second case. Deputies tell us Jerry Lovett from Geneva was already being held at the Ontario County Jail for second-degree attempted murder when he made a deal with someone who's not currently in jail to try to kill someone else for money. For that new case, he's charged with first-degree attempted murder and conspiracy. He'll appear in town court in Hopewell later at a different date to face those charges.
So he tried to get somebody else on the street killed while he was in jail. I'm telling you, man.
That guy looked a little crazy too, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Just a little bit. Oh,
While
wow.
things are running on here, I'm going to say, you'll get your "If You Can Hear It, We Can Hear It" shirt at Ock Nation that he put up yesterday.
Yeah, we got to do merchandise on the Ock Nation merch store, man. Make sure y'all check out the Ock Nation merch store. Yeah, if you can hear it, we can hear it. Salute the Smoky Treats. He says, thanks for your channel, Ock. Yeah, man. Salute to you, man. It's wow. Yeah, lots going on here though, but let's see.
And folks in Rochester getting geared up for the warmer weather today. Community members came together donating bikes to more than 150 families. The event was organized by Evangelist Stanley, owner.
Why is she so fucking happy that these 17s getting free bikes, man?
more than 150 families. The event was organized by Evangelist Stanley, owner of People's Choice Kitchen, who said she just wanted to give back to her community. Van adds they've been working on this event for over a month, and it was all made possible by local donations. RPD, RFD, and Wegmans all pitched.
See, Wegmans, man.
Yeah, Wegmans doing big things in Rochester, man. Free bikes, they giving away free stuff, man. Some people show up, man. Gives me some free stuff. Free stuff. We love some free stuff.
In as well as other local donors. Stanley also says they even have people donate from Texas and Long Island.
I just want to thank the community. Oh my God, the gratitude. It's just overwhelming, the support. All these young ladies donated bikes. It was amazing. I have an awesome village. I have a village that's like, woo.
You can just feel the excitement in the air there. And the event was not just for kids, too. They also had teen bikes and adult bikes as well, in addition to bike helmets and Easter.
Oh, blast from the past, man. This was hysterical. I love when they should bring me these blasts from the past.
We turn our attention now to a disgusting display that led to charges being filed against one South Jersey man.
Last year. This was last year. This is I covered this.
We turn our attention now to a disgusting display that led to charges being filed against one South Jersey man and brought a community together in protest.
A large one, in fact. It all started with the video showing the 45-year-old Mount Laurel resident screaming racist slurs and threatening his neighbors on Friday. And the now viral clip, he called for people to show up at his home, and that is exactly what has happened.
Action News reporter George Solis live in that neighborhood with this developing story. George, let us know what you're learning about this.
Yeah, great. And Sarah, this has been a very active scene here all morning and afternoon. Protesters have been growing by the hour. Many of them prepared to stay for the long haul. Many of them prepared with signs, many of them with chairs. Take a look behind me. You can see some of the activity here as they have staged outside of this man's home. This crowd has grown exponentially, especially as more people have watched this already viral video. Now, things have been peaceful, but they're...
Now look at this. None of these Negroes would be anywhere near Jamar Quavier's house after he shot some fucking kid. They would never do this in the stand. The guy who shot up the fucking funeral hit, 10 women? 15 people hit 10 women? They would never show up to his house like this. These people are fucking cowards, man.
And they're actually trespassing. The cops won't do anything to them.
Moments. Tensions and tempers flared Monday on Gramercy Way in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. The anger and outrage centered on this.
Back up. Keep backing up. Back up. Keep backing up. Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
An explosive interaction between neighbors caught on video back on July 2nd is now part.
Some men shoot each other every day and kill each other every day and stab each other. You should see this video they just showed. The one.
It wouldn't even get that far.
Yeah.
As soon as he stepped up there to rub chest, the gun would come out.
The one you just sent me where the guy shot the guy and then shot him again when he was on the ground and shot him again and again. And then we got the actual footage of what happened in the smoke shop without them stopping it. These shootings in black, the way these Sunmen treat each other, but then we show up at this white guy's house because he's arguing chest to chest with a Sunman. It's just insane. It just goes to show you how crazy the world is. 100 Sun people will show up at a white man's house for arguing chest to chest with a black man in a community where you have fucking 300, 400 murders in a year. Unfucking believable. Look at these fucking weirdos, man.
Tensions and tempers flared Monday on Gramercy Way in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. The anger and outrage
Real
centered on
shit.
this.
Back up. Keep backing up. Back up. Keep backing up. Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
An explosive interaction between neighbors caught on video back on July 2nd is now part of a police investigation.
Walk away. It's not Africa. Oh, this is not Solomon or wherever. I was born in America. Well, so you know what common ground. What's common ground? I don't give a shit about you.
According to police, the man in the video in the green shirt is 45-year-old Edward Cagney Matthews.
This over here, both have videotape of you putting your hands on me.
Matthews now faces harassment and bias intimidation charges connected to the dispute that, according to neighbors, stem from months of issues with the development's HOA board, including this racial slur written on a board member's fence and years of allegations of harassment of others. Allegations Matthew appeared to address in the video as he uses slur after racial slur.
And you want to know where I was when all this happened? I don't care. At work, Keith. I don't care where you were. At morgue. Just like I told the Mount Laurel police.
The tirade continued even as an officer showed up.
You know what? Hold on. No. I'm going to let you do your thing. Go talk to these.
Before the video ends, Matthew gave out his home address, seemingly encouraging protesters who arrived on cue. Matthews later came out to address the crowd, only to be ushered back inside his home.
We're not just going to let him harass people, especially black people, within this community or any community.
Jasmine Tazinski and her mother, Aaliyah Robinson, showed up to protest.
Look how they act with a white people are held to such a different standard, man.
Did you see? I just put in the back chat. I don't know if you did anything on this. This Sun man completely abusing a white family on the subway. Have you seen that?
Yeah, we did that a couple weeks ago.
Okay, all right.
This is insane, man. White people. Good.
No, me and my brother always talk about this, like how the Sun man, he always want to go protest and bring it to the glacier, or he'll never. When something happened in the black community, like a shooting, and everybody knows it's going down, nobody's going to that dude's crib. Nobody's gonna go talk to none of that shit's happening in the hood, and everybody know what the fuck's going down. That shit's crazy.
They won't even call the anonymous tip line. But they're out here at this Gladys house because he was arguing with a Southern man. He used some slurs. I mean, like, what is that? I mean, Gladys are held to such a high standard. We expect so much out of you. You guys have restraint and reason. Why you're not like us. You should be acting.
And you know who termed the coin monkey? It was other blacks because they're saying, "Oh well, you're the Uncle Tom. You're the performing monkey for him." That's how it got portrayed initially.
Wow.
Within this community or any community.
Jasmine Tazinski and her mother, Aaliyah Robinson, showed up to protest and claimed they too were victimized by Matthews in years past.
We have tried to get justice. And if we got justice, this wouldn't be happening now.
And again, a live look at the scene here in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. Again, protesters coming in and out. This crowd only growing larger by the moment, it seems. Mount Laurel police said Matthews faces harassment and bias intimidation charges. It's unknown at this point if he's under investigation for any prior allegation. Now, the agency did put out a statement along with the information this afternoon saying they do not condone any of the behavior seen in that video. We are live in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. George Solis, Channel 6.
Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. Wow. Unbelievable.
If only gliders had that same type of solidarity, maybe her grandmas wouldn't be kicked in the head.
Yeah. Those gliders do not have that type of. They don't. They just not like that.
That's the
your
problem.
mic is. You got like I don't know what's going on with your mic. Every time you unmute, it's like fucking I don't know what the fuck. It's like a 1970s TV with no fucking antenna.
Nah, I got it on my dresser. That's probably what you're hearing.
Take it off the dresser.
Nah, I got you.
Shit, man. You said somebody said Detroit. Let's see what's going on in Detroit, man. Hey. Yeah. Wow. Let's see what's going on in Detroit.
here in Metro Detroit after a 2-year legal battle. A tiny home resident is being forcibly removed today. Moments ago, bailiffs made their way inside of this home. Tara Brown is fighting the eviction and is vowing not to leave, but Cass Community Social Services says that Brown violated the conditions of the tiny house program and has to go. Victor Williams is there on the scene. And Victor, I can see there's a flurry of activity behind you right now.
Oh, yeah, guys, things have been very intense this morning. These tires were supposed to be used as barriers, in a sense, to keep the court officers from going in with all of the people that were in front of this home as well, but they were unsuccessful. Take a look at what played out earlier as protesters went head-to-head with court officers trying to prevent them from making it inside to evict Tara Brown, who is suffering from stage 5 kidney failure. Over a dozen officers from DPD were here as well, but they were staying back, only intervening when things got too physical. Now, all of these tiny homes in the area of Monterey Street are owned by Cass Community Social Services, better known as CCSS. Now, Brown claims that she hasn't missed any payments and believes that she's only being evicted because she's been very critical of Reverend Fowler and CCSS, but multiple organizations have joined the fight to stop.
I thought she was gonna say black. Since I gotta give. Since she didn't say she's being evicted because she's black, I'm willing to listen because they gave you a fucking free home because you're black. So now I don't want to hear you evicted because you're black.
Listen further, and Gen Z did this video. He called out immediately. Oh, what happened was, once they found the final eviction paperwork, then you tried to settle up the past due bill. So you had all the money ready to go. You were just leaning on an eviction moratorium and all that kind of stuff. Not paying your rent.
You wasn't paying her rent, yeah.
This eviction, including Detroit Eviction Defense standing in front of every entrance. Hear from Tristan Taylor, who was right on the front lines.
That's what it takes. I mean, I don't know any moment in history where justice prevails, where people don't have to put their bodies on the line to be framed. And, you know, we are the people who don't mind to just hang around and chill and have a...
You don't have shit to do.
The crackhead, bro.
You don't have nothing to do. You don't have a life. You don't have nowhere to be. You don't have no responsibilities. Salute to Sebastian Kim. He says some people would rather see gliders go to prison for saying the naughty word than to see a suspect go to prison for a triple homicide. I mean, that is true. Words were never spoken. Yeah, true words were never spoken. It's just true. That's just fucking true, man. Yeah, I can't even. He said also the Ock Nation hoodies are comfy. Yeah, man, salute. Yeah, make sure you check out Ock Nation hoodies, man. Get an Ock Nation hoodie merch store. All links in the description box. Got new hoodies.
And the t-shirts have long enough tails for that wonderful concealed carry.
Yeah, man. Salute, man. Yeah, you can carry them. Ock Nation shirts are carry free. I'm carry friendly.
Barbecue. We're not the ones who are initiating the conflict, but we are here to stand strong, defend Tara and this house and ourselves.
Now, once again, Mrs. Brown is being evicted. We have seen a lot of her belongings brought out of this home, a lot of them thrown away. But we have not heard anything back from Reverend Fowler, so we're hoping to hear back from her soon. We did end up speaking to Tara just a few minutes ago, and we'll have what she had to say at 5 p.m. Victor Williams, Local 4.
Good. I understand, man. They're giving away tiny houses, man. That's not working out. That was supposed to be a solution, I bet, right? Let's see. We got Glider after me.
Basically, it was I got the money ready, but they won't let me pay it now. They've done the eviction proceedings. Yeah, they went through court and got you the eviction notice, so they're not going to let you. Oh, just pay it off, because then if you do it again, they have to go through the process again. They want you out.
A convicted felon busted for trying to sell drugs
and all of these guns at an Oakland County home. Investigators say a child was nearby while all this was happening, and that arrest tops our news tonight at 6. Good to have you with us. I'm Devin Skillian.
I'm Kimberly Gill. Tyler Zollman is now facing charges in federal court for what was found in that Pontiac home. Grant Herms joins us live to walk us through this case. Grant.
Kimberly, Devin, this man was a felon who
upstanding
wasn't
member
allowed
of the
to have a
community there.
firearm. Instead, authorities found a pile of them in these pictures from his phone. The evidence here is so overwhelming, even Zollman saying in a recorded jailhouse phone call that the authorities had him dead to rights. Federal prosecutors naming this man,
Don't talk
31-year-old
on
Tyler
jail
James
phones.
Zollman, in a drug cooking and gun dealing scheme out of his home in Pontiac. The joint task force made up of federal and local law enforcement started their investigation at the end of last month after a friend of Zollman's reported someone had broken into their home and used a sledgehammer and crowbar to break into a firearm safe, stealing 15 weapons. Investigators later used a warrant on Zollman's home and found a number of weapons from pistols to shotguns to rifles, even some left in the open in the living room while a 1-year-old was present. These images found after a
One
search
they
of
had circled
Zollman's
was a
phone,
Mac 10.
also revealing images of Zollman allegedly cooking crack and text messages to an unknown would-be buyer.
I see videotaping himself doing all this shit. It's fucking weird, man. Like, he's videotaping himself cooking crack.
Well,
To
what about
shotguns,
the Sunmen videotaping themselves pointing the gun at the screen, flashing cash, smoking a blunt, smoking crack? I mean, same difference.
But he's son adjacent. This guy's down with the brothers, man. He get to say the N-word. So I bet some son men let him say the N-word.
15 weapons. Investigators later used a warrant on Zollman's home and found a number of weapons from pistols to shotguns to rifles, even some left in the open in the living room while a 1-year-old was present. These images found after a search of Zollman's phone, also revealing images of Zollman allegedly cooking crack and text messages to an unknown would-be buyer. Zollman texting, "Yeah, get me some crackheads, I'll hook you up. This is the best dope around, man. Everyone who tries it loves it." Local force law enforcement analyst Darnell Blackburn saying these kinds of cases are some of the most dangerous for officers to make an arrest.
You don't know what's in somebody's house. You never know. And so that's why police officers take extreme caution when they approach the house. That's why they don't park in front of the house. That's why they approach houses, covertly. And then the other part of this is that we don't want to harm an innocent person who's caught in the crossfire of somebody who doesn't care about themselves.
Now, Zollman has been successfully arrested and is charged with a long list of felonies here, including 5 different gun charges and 2 drug charges. Interestingly enough, a child endangerment charge of any kind was not included on this list. Back to you.
So, Grant, what?
Ike, are you speaking? You're muted.
They didn't give him a child endangerment charge because he's white. If he's black, they would have gave him goddamn child endangerment
They
charge.
didn't give him a child endangerment charge, probably because the guns are all empty.
Wow. Oh, what? What the fuck?
A family of a woman found dead in a field is speaking out tonight as the man charged with her murder is also charged with the murder of 3 other people.
Jonathan Welch was out on bond when prosecutors say he broke into his mother's home, killing his girlfriend, his mother, and his stepfather. Sean Lay, live with more on this. This new charge goes all the way back to June of last year, Sean.
It does, Devin and Kimberly. This is heartbreaking. It's also confusing. We're going to boil it down the best we can. We're talking about one defendant charged with 4 different homicides. In the middle of all that, a low bond was set. Before this, however, a young woman was killed. We're hearing from her family for the very first time tonight.
Once again, I'm mad as hell because things need to be changed.
A call tonight from the cousin of Natayla Morse, wanting all of us, from citizens to police to the courts, to be as vigilant as possible when it comes to domestic violence. Last June 4th, the 24-year-old was found beaten to death on Lenox Street in Detroit, her car set on fire nearby. The night before, neighbors saw a young woman being chased by a man. Could more have been done at that moment?
I'm not saying that she'll be with us today, but it's a chance that she could have been saved.
Fast forward all the way to this past March 21st, an arrest in Natayla's case. Jonathan Welsh now facing charges. Natayla's family did not know him, but knew him from news reports after Welsh was arrested and charged with the deadly attack on his girlfriend, her mother, and stepfather in Harper Woods. Welsh was out on what many consider a low bond for beating.
Hold on, what? Talk about, man. Hold on.
Jonathan Welsh now facing charges. Natayla's family did not know him, but knew him from news reports after Welsh was arrested and charged with the deadly attack on his girlfriend, her mother, and stepfather in Harper Woods. Welsh was out on what many consider a low bond for beating his girlfriend days before. Natayla Morse would be Welsh's first alleged victim, then the case involving his girlfriend, where he was released on bond, then the attack on her family.
Had the system.
So on bond for one, kills another, on bond for another, and then goes back and wipes out the family. Fine.
I mean, this can't be.
But
serious,
this sister that's complaining about this now, she marched for George Floyd, Rashard Brooks. She marched for
Tyre Nichols, everybody.
She marched for the guy that got shot in they got tased in L.A. there. The Black Lives Matter founder cousin, Patrice Cullors' cousin. She marched for him.
This is crazy. It's like now they keep him. Like, well, damn, you might as well let him out again now. Like, fuck, you didn't fucking kill. Jesus Christ. Unfucking believable. This shit is. And he did it. Look, he did it. Some white people don't come free him in 20 years, man. Let him stay, white people. Don't come free him, white people.
Know him, but
what he is a coward. If he was really about that, he'd go after the killers that are killing people. Get his reputation that way.
News reports after Welsh was arrested and charged with the deadly attack on his girlfriend, her mother, and stepfather in Harper Woods. Welsh was out on what many consider a low bond for beating his girlfriend days before. Natayla Morse would be Welsh's first alleged victim, then the case involving his girlfriend, where he was released on bond, then the attack on her family.
Had the system stepped up and put that bond a little higher due to the vicious crime that he did to the girlfriend, the mother, and the stepfather, along with the girlfriend, 99% of the chance they probably would still be here today.
Back here live. Let's go back now to the Natayla Morse homicide. Welsh will be in court in a few weeks on that. We're going to keep a close eye on that one because we may learn more information about how these two knew each other. The family says they had never heard of him until that Harper Woods attack, and now he has a presence in their life as well. They want to know how he knew Natayla. Back to you.
Great question. It's going
to.
Lakers win, y'all.
Lakers won?
Yep, overtime.
Walked them down, man. Lakers walked them down. Shout out to LeBron.
How did he know Natayla? Maybe from the club. They looked across the room, and she got attracted to him because he had that air of danger, and then boom.
Yeah. Salute to LeBron, though, man. LeBron got in the playoffs. Bronny, man. Salute, man. Now y'all gonna lose to Memphis, and I give them 5. They'll win a game. They'll beat Memphis one time. What do you think about that?
It's gonna be a 6 to 7 game series, man.
Oh, really? I think they'll win one game.
Nah,
What's,
I don't think. I think
Well,
they'll
today,
compete.
neighborhood leaders on a
yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. LeBron should at least win 2 to 3 games against them, but that I'm telling you, man, it's just Memphis is really, really good, especially without Ja Morant, and they're good with him. I just think that like it's a level up. They struggled with Minnesota, right?
Yeah, nah, they struggled. They struggled with Minnesota. It was overtime, but John Moran is playing. So what you talking about without John?
No, I'm saying with or without him, I think Memphis could be. If Ja Morant don't play, I think Memphis still would be.
Well, today, neighborhood leaders on Detroit's west side were on the hunt, fighting blight. The Detroit Department of Neighborhoods is teaming up directly with residents in hopes of making communities even better. Will Jones tagged along with folks getting ready to go on a blight blitz. Tell us about it, Will.
Pamela and Christy, this has long been a frustration of many Detroiters, the trash that piles up in their neighborhood. It is an eyesore. The city is partnering more with community groups to tackle blight.
We're going to use the blight blitz sheets we're going to use to help you mark down what you observe on the blocks.
Volunteers driving around looking for blight and using the Improved Detroit app to report it.
It's really sad that our youth today have looked around and seen all this blight as being the norm. It's not the norm.
We took a ride with Ali on her blight blitz. She says community support is key.
It's nice to see. It's nice to see groups wanting to help report it.
We stopped at Rosemont and Tyerman.
This block specifically, one of our seniors called in and reported that there was blight and trash on her block.
This vacant house has tree branches, furniture, a car bumper piled up in the front yard.
Branches have to be bundled. Construction debris is not allowed to be put out with bulk. And car parts and items like that are not able to be put out with bulk.
And when you're walking through a neighborhood and see this in front of a house, how frustrating is it?
Very frustrating. I grew up in this neighborhood.
After neighbors report blight to the city, the Department of Public Works heads out to pick it up.
Some of our residents have gotten the message and understand, and the Improved Detroit app, it really helped to get this debris moved off the streets. Unfortunately, you still have a lot of people who don't want to be in compliance.
Those who take pride in where they live and work to clean it up hope their neighbors will do the same.
You never feel like your effort.
They hope their neighbors will do the same.
Do they fine or put a lien on the people that are illegally dumping stuff on the street? If not, it's not going to stop, because then, I can dump it on the street and get it taken care of free if people see it.
Yeah, there's no solution for this shit that they're doing. Wow. Blight. If you can't figure out murder, no one cares. No one cares about trash on the ground. That doesn't move the needle with some people. They don't give a shit about that. Somebody will come pick it up. Or if not, then they just live with it. Wow.
Let's move now to breaking news here at home. After Detroit police put out the call for help, the suspect in the rapes of 2 older women over the last 2 weeks was taken into custody tonight.
Our Mara McDonald is live at Detroit Police Headquarters. Mara, this latest sexual assault happening just yesterday.
Kimberly, that's right. At a bus stop on Detroit's northwest side, late this evening, the chief put out the call for help. And by tonight, the suspect in question is in custody. Let me show you. After Detroit's chief put out the plea.
I'm here today to announce that we have identified a suspect.
Naming Kenneth Davis Jr. a suspect in both the rape of an 80-year-old woman in her own home last week and a 64-year-old woman at a bus stop near Grand River in Ferguson yesterday. Police took him into custody tonight.
I just can't stop thinking about they caught him with a woman in the car and a baby. I wonder what was that about?
Brent, along with others who are out in the neighborhoods doing advocacy work, have been working the northwest side, asking for help, gleaning info that people may not be willing to share with police.
I'm so proud of Detroit. They called, they text, they came up to this where we were at canvassing. They showed up to get flyers. They were passing the information. They were sending me information. I got so many calls and texts about this guy.
The crimes against these women are grotesque. And while Davis will now go through the court system, Brent says there's more to be done here.
I don't want to be any mother. Every elder woman in this community is my mother. So I have a profound obligation and commitment and compulsion to want to cover them and protect them. So the question is that we have to ask ourselves as a community of leaders, what do we do now?
Back here live, police sources tell us there is DNA in this case that links both of these attacks. When I asked the chief about it directly late today, he demurred, only saying that his special victims unit has been hard at work.
Man. Rough out here, man. God.
Yeah, it's crazy going.
I guess they just need to take that Sudan slum old woman training, right?
Oh yeah, come on, Kenya. Damn, man.
Investigating a deadly shooting at a subway station in Williamsbridge. 2 teens were shot. One of them was killed. Eyewitness News reporter Sonia Rincon joins us live from the Burke Avenue station in Williamsbridge. Good afternoon, Sonia.
Janice, good afternoon. We have some new information on what may have led to this deadly shooting from last night. Sources tell Eyewitness News that surveillance video shows there was a dispute on a tube train between about 5 teens, and it spilled out onto the platform here at Burke Avenue, and at least one of those teens was armed.
I've been living over here for 15 years, and the gun violence is outrageous, These young kids, they're killing each other,
2 17-year-olds, one dead, one wounded in the hip. Somebody opened fire on the mezzanine level of the Burke Avenue 2 train station at around 10:30 last night. The teen who died struck multiple times. It's the 3rd time someone has been killed on a subway platform or train this year. After 11 homicides in the subway system last year, there has been more of a police presence. But people heading to work this morning knowing someone was killed at their subway station were uneasy.
It's heart-rending to know that, we got to go back and forth to work, and to know that we are not even safe around here because we don't know when, we'll be maybe bypassing and something like this happen to us.
And that it could happen to someone
But
so
you're
young.
safer than
My
in
heart goes
Africa.
out for the parent who really have their children and they're out there, and most of them don't know what they are doing, and to be home and to hear that your kids are, dead because of these kind of lifestyle that they are in.
Now, no word on exactly what that fight was about, but sources tell us the surviving teen who was shot claims he did not know the other victim his age who did not make it.
A former NOP.
Oh man. Yeah. Why not do New Orleans, man? Let's see what's going on down in New Orleans, man. Fox New Orleans. I gotta subscribe. Oh, I'm subscribed to them. Jesus Christ. Same shit.
Police search for a possible serial rapist attacking women in Algiers.
And so far, police say the man sexually assaulted 4 women in the Rue Park-Fontaine apartment complex. And Natasha Robbins spoke with one of the victims today.
Especially a woman that's, that's body cells, because that's what they're taking advantage of.
This woman, who Fox 8 will not identify, now lives in fear after police say this man attacked and raped her. It recently happened where the victim lives, in the Rue Park-Fontaine apartment complex in Algiers.
As I was coming back from my car, I saw a guy, and I was walking back to the house, and he asked me for a lighter.
She says it was around 2 in the morning when the man approached her.
Went to get the lighter, and then as soon as he went to engage conversation, and when I engaged conversation, he upped the gun on me.
She says within a couple of minutes, he pulled out a gun and pointed it to her head.
Once I realized what was...
Think about it. You're some mammy and shit. You're like out at that night and you see some sunteen and he asks you for a lighter, you give him a lighter, start the conversation with you, and you're like sitting there talking to this son teen or son man, and you're sitting there thinking like they're not all that bad. Look, I mean, it's late. The son man, he seems very nice. He's talking, and then he pulls a fucking gun out on you, fucking rapes your ass. God
So I
damn.
got two comments. I've seen better pictures of Bigfoot, and that the voice is awful deep for us for a woman.
Her voice is they probably changing her voice. She's probably scared, so they probably use the thing to change her voice. Do that a lot in these cases.
Fontaine apartment complex in Algiers.
As I was coming back from my car, I saw a guy, and I was walking back to the house, and
it says woman, man. It says tax of women, man. It doesn't say trans. It says tax of women.
He asked me for a lighter.
She says it was around 2 a.m. when the man approached her.
Went to get the lighter, and then soon as he went to engage conversation, and when I engaged conversation, he upped the gun on me.
She says within a couple of minutes, he pulled out a gun and pointed it to her head.
Once I realized what was happening, I kind of like pushed him away, but he got more aggressive with the gun. That's how he was able to push me inside the house.
He reportedly pushed her back into her apartment where he raped her at gunpoint.
At the first, he did the sexual assault, and then he pushed me in the bathroom with the gun, and I slammed the door and I locked it.
She says the rapist stole some items from her apartment and then took off on foot. This victim is one of 4 women all sexually assaulted, police believe, by the same man.
This just shocked me this morning, but to hear about anybody else at all, because I could just imagine how they feel, because I know how I feel.
Police say this man sexually assaulted the 4 victims all within the Rue Park Fontaine apartment complex over the past 2 weeks. Complex managers tell Fox 8 they're very concerned for the safety of their residents. The security gate outside the complex is broken, and management says they're working.
The security gate is broken. Oh shit! You can't.
And there's a wooden beam leaning against the side, and all the other things you see in Sunistan.
That security gate being broken, man, is literally like, I mean, it literally
doesn't mean anything because they would hop the fence if they wanted to.
Well, but I mean, it still is a deterrent. It's a deterrent.
Yeah, it's probably broken for you. That's just probably broken for a while too.
Jeez.
But if he's hit 4 women in the same apartment complex, he's either staying with somebody there, or he just lives in the neighborhood there.
No, I think he lives in the neighborhood, because you usually do crimes like this near where you live.
To get it fixed. They're also trying to hire at least 2 security guards, plus they'd like to get some crime cameras on the property.
The lightning back here is real bad, so it's no, you have to be safe. You have to be aware of your surroundings, and just not talk to strangers. Just not talk to people you don't know. Daytime, nighttime, it doesn't matter. Just try to be safe.
Women who live at the Rue Fontaine apartment complex say they're living on edge and they want the attacker caught soon. The NOPD is asking anyone with information to call police immediately.
So he's still on the lam. Damn. Make sure you hit the PayPal, Cash App, Super Chat. Support the channel. Let's see. Damn. Oh, shit.
The teens accused of killing 73-year-old Linda Fricky won't go to trial now for another year.
The decision to delay the trial that long has DA Jason Williams and the Fricky family very upset. Natasha Robin explains.
In my opinion, we fight for the criminals in New Orleans. We don't fight for the victims.
Murder victim Linda Fricky's family heartbroken. They just received news that Judge Kimya Holmes set the new trial date for March 18th, 2024.
Which was really disappointing because it's another year away. We was really hoping to have things moving and done with.
The criminals keep coming back with motions after motions after motions to try to change things, continue trials. anything they can do to get away with it.
4 teens, John Honore, Berniah Baker, Marquel Curtis, and Lanira Theophile, are accused of beating, carjacking, and dragging Fricky to her death in Mid-City last year. All 4 are charged as adults. Judge Holmes decided on the new trial date after the Supreme Court ruled the defense team should be given additional time to independently test the DNA evidence in the case. The new date, though, isn't until...
What DNA evidence they got on camera doing? What DNA evidence is this guy talking about, man?
Yeah, that's crazy.
They're literally on camera dragging this woman to her arm pillow. Like, come on, man. Clown world, man. We live in a clown world.
Kind of makes you want to bring back the hemp squad, huh?
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about smoking it.
They drag them behind our car like they did this woman.
Yeah.
Independently test the DNA evidence in the case. The new date, though, isn't until March of next year.
You have the video, you have the evidence, you have everything. You know, we got the DNA put back in. What do you need a continuance for? Why do you need to test the DNA? The DNA was tested by the Louisiana State Police.
DA Jason Williams says he's extremely disappointed about the new court date and calls the judge's decision unacceptable. Williams says his office will appeal the decision.
We need to get justice. We need to put people behind bars quickly.
The Fricky family says for them, closure cannot come fast enough. And they say they constantly think about the horrific way Linda lost her life.
There's just some lines you do not cross. And what they did to Linda, they crossed every line.
They didn't stop. They chose this. They kept dragging her. She was screaming, pleading, begging for her life. Yes, we're mad. We are definitely mad. We need this to go to trial. We need this to put to rest. We need to start forgiveness within our family.
The family says they'll be back here on May 19th for a hearing to determine if the suspect that's still in a mental facility is now competent to stand trial with the others. At Criminal District Court, Natasha Robin, Fox.
God. The amount of fucking goddamn carnage,
pain and suffering, and
it's just carnage. They just leaving their weight, and the whole world is reporting on it. Every city we go to, they're reporting on it. Oh my God.
PD isn't providing any new updates or new information 3 days after 2 small children and 2 women were caught in a hail of gunfire on I-10, sending all of them to the hospital.
One city councilman says this tragedy shouldn't be seen as a representation of New Orleans East. Maddie Kurth reports.
I hope the detectives and the police can do their jobs, but of course we stay in New Orleans. That is hard to do, but I'm putting my faith that this will get resolved because this has to stop.
For 3 days, a family has been recovering in the hospital, victims of an interstate shooting in New Orleans East. 2 women were shot, one in the shoulder, the other in the leg. An 8-year-old girl suffered a graze wound to the head, and an 11-year-old boy was critically injured with a bullet entering his back and traveling up to his jaw.
I don't want another family to go through what I just went through because that was traumatic. That was traumatic.
They were on their way to a water park in Alabama Friday when bullets pierced their SUV. The NOPD has made no arrests nor provided an update to the public about the case since the shooting. Oliver Thomas represents New Orleans East on the city council and says such violence is not indicative of the district's community.
They don't need to be unfairly labeled. It's unfortunate if it happens anywhere, but when you look at real-time statistics, the people on New Orleans East don't deserve to be labeled as a place that's full of violence because it's not. It's unfortunate when it happens to anyone.
But this and other recent interstate shootings in the area have drivers on edge.
When I was driving to Alabama, I was saying in my head, let me help and get through this east. Let me help and get, I was saying that in my head while trying to drive, and then I hear gunshots ring out. So it's like that gut feeling had came over me.
She said she was, let me get out of East New Orleans. Oh my God, man. It's just a tornado of crime and carnage and victims just strewn all over the place. The fact that if a glider says some mean words, there'll be 100 sons out front of his house. It's just fucking bananas, man. That shit is bananas. And y'all put up with that shit. Y'all gliders just put up with that shit. We're fucking kicking you guys' asses.
And that is sad that we have to be scared to even drive through the
God, look at these two detectives. They really got a shortage of cops down there. They just hired anybody. God dog, man. It's just the whole clown world, inside, out, upside down, right side, left. You name it. Clown world.
to even drive through the east on the interstate.
Thomas said it's important for NOPD detectives to identify the suspects and bring them to justice.
I was told early on they were going to try to see if there were any cameras or footage all along that area. So hopefully it happens sooner than later. But hopefully that this young man who was fighting for his life and his family who were victims, we pray for healing for them and that they're completely healthy.
So the bullet is still launched in his jaw. But he's fine. He's able to talk. He's able to move. He's able to respond to us. He's doing real well.
Now, the identities of the victims were hidden for their protection at the scene of Friday's shooting. Thomas admits he was given incorrect information about what could have provoked the incident. He says he has since apologized to the family. Now, we've reached out to the police department a number of times since Friday's shooting, looking for information.
Jeez.
Everywhere in New Orleans is a little bit dangerous, but the real dangerous parts are south of the river, which, you know, there's a loop that comes up around where the crescent is that's where Algiers is. That's dangerous. But New Orleans east, that's where the business district is. There's not many houses there, so it's not that dangerous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Except for on the roads, the Sunmen are wiling out.
Yeah, when you're on the roads, it doesn't matter. The Sunman is like a mole. He's like the wind. He's like the wind.
Marks her 100 days in office. The NOPD's interim superintendent says violent crime is down.
Still, police investigated 5 shooting scenes in the past 24 hours that left 9 people shot. Natasha Robin has the story.
People are leaving because they're afraid of what's happening. You know, and so many of the young people are dying. It's so sad.
In the past 24 hours, 9 people shot across New Orleans. One incident unfolded here, near the Lafitte Greenway in the 700 block of St. Louis Street. A DJ was playing for a party when a large crowd gathered and someone opened fire. A woman and a juvenile shot.
They actually thought it was fireworks at first, but we knew better. There's a lot of screaming and howling, trying to check if everybody was okay.
While I knew firsthand the challenges we were facing, I knew that they were not insurmountable.
After 100 days in office, interim superintendent of the NOPD, Michelle Woodfork, says overall violent crime is down 20%. Murders and shootings slightly down, but she believes progress is being made.
That number does fluctuate up and down, but we see a trend in there being less murders, less shootings, and the ones that we do have, my homicide unit is second to none.
She says the homicide unit has a 57% clearance rate. Woodfork says murders are down 12%. LSU health criminologist Peter Scharf isn't ready to call it a trend.
So at what point would a reasonable observer say the direction has changed? We flipped the switch, to use Spike Lee's term. Have we flipped the switch? And I think the answer is no, unfortunately.
Woodfork says her crime plan consists of 3 components: reducing crime, getting in compliance with the consent decree, and recruitment and retention. She points out 11 recruits graduated on Friday. teen recruits continue to go through training, and a new class is set to begin April 10th with as many as 25 recruits. The superintendent says she's constantly working to keep officers on the force as well.
We are starting to change their thoughts, the mindset that we are all one team, and that I definitely support them.
Sharf says really making a difference in the amount of violence striking the city will take time.
We're not there yet, and we're all supportive of the mayor, we're all supportive of the police chief. We need to show that we have a formula to restructure our efforts.
The NOPD plans to hold multiple public meetings in the near future. The superintendent says she wants to let the public know exactly how the NOPD is reducing crime. At NOPD headquarters, Natasha.
It's just insane, man. I mean, it literally is insane to be sitting there bragging about crime being down in a city where no one is safe. Everyone's feeling fucking terrified. In the fucking, like, it's insane. Everyone's terrified. Man, salute everybody, man. I'm about to pass out, man. I'm out of here.